Another legendary day for COMICSGATE. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's doing great. It's great to see you guys out there. And hey, is the technology working? Can you hear me? How the hell are you? How is everybody doing? Wow, great to see everybody. Thanks for being here. I am super psyched today because today I am finally launching the Mermaids comic. I've spent, I don't know, years working on this Mermaids comic. I started it my God, like 7 years ago or something like that. And I've been working with a lot of guys to bring it together. And finally, we got the damn thing together. And I love how it came out. This was way, way, way more work than I ever thought it would be. I like to think through things I'm going to do. This is a project that I didn't think through that carefully. This is a project that I was just like, well, let me start working on it. And the more I started working on it, the cooler the things started to become and come together. I'm going to go ahead and just launch this damn thing with you guys live right now. So I'm pressing review and launch. Bing, bang, boom. Flexible funding. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Always good to double check. Always good to double check your stuff. I made a mistake. And look, for anybody putting out their own comics, putting out their own books, you know what? Always double check, no matter who you are, no matter how many campaigns or comics you've made, whatever it is, it's always possible to make, a minor mistake here or there. I would rather do fixed funding than flexible funding. I think that fixed funding is better because then people kind of understand, like, look, we either reach the goal or we don't reach the goal. We reach the goal, we're putting out a book. And if not, you don't reach the goal. It's fine. I just clicked to launch. I don't know if it's live. It probably is live. When you click launch, it usually goes live. So I told it to launch. So it should go live very soon if it hasn't gone live already. Let me say hi to everybody. Oh, Shadowhawk, we will get into the tiers in just 1 second. Let me just appreciate everybody who made time to join me on my historic day of launching the Mermaids, which I have spent, I'm telling you, no less than 7. I think it's closer to 8 years working on this project. Rick Taylor, great to see you. Shadowhawk, great to see you. David Feed, it is a pleasure, you talented young man. I hope your project worked out well, too. I want you to catch up with me. Alex Rogan's Ghost, very ghostly. Good to see you. Terrific to see you. And Shadowhawk, there you are again. Shadowhawk is awesome. Richard. Hey, Richard. Thank you for all your comments, Richard, when I do videos. I got to get my videos going again. They will be going again soon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications so I can make sure you do get the latest updates on the campaign. Now, I still have to thank Kirby. Kirby, great to see you, and thank you for offering to back. Just a kid from Brooklyn, great to see you, no matter what part of New York State you're from. But Brooklyn is the best. I was actually born in Brooklyn. So was my brother. Got a lot of Brooklyn stories I could tell you. Gaming or what? TM, what's up? What's up? It's Mermaids Day, baby. That's what's up. Robert Romano, I haven't seen you forever. Great to see you again. Leggy Vampire. I like the idea of a leggy vampire. What do you need for your campaign? Well, if you guys are launching campaigns, you want to go ahead and take a look at my playlists in my video series. I did do a series called Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network. And one of the great things about that is it gives you my background as a comics publisher. I've been publishing comics I started in 1986 when I was a teenager, and on and off for years since then, published more than 1,000 comics. And my Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network series is very educational for everybody. Kind of gives you a perspective of my experience and some of my inexperience. I don't know it all, but I have like over 40 videos on that playlist, and I can kind of really, I've gotten great feedback from new people and also from professionals, just that perspective of publishing. Hey, thank you, Fanier. Great to see you from Rear Fire. And hey, what's up, Earthmind? All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on. Did this campaign get launched, or did this campaign not get launched? We will simply go to epicmermaids.com, and it's still giving me the sign up. Okay, that's no problem, but something might have gone wrong. So let's check it out. We do want to launch the campaign here. Campaign editor, bing, bang, boom. I'm working on it with you guys live as we go. See, you can have like little things that go wrong at any almost ready to go live. What is it? It wants content and funding. It wants bank information. Bank information. I don't care about the money. I do this because I love comics. Well, okay. Facts section. I don't think you need that. Questions? Facts? I've launched other campaigns before. Why is it giving me a hard time? Well, I'm not perfect. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the Mermaids trailer, which Ted Zagaro did for me. I love it. It gives you the epic nature of the world of the Mermaids. This is the biggest single project that I ever did as one comic. I have published like a universe of comics before, Triumphant Comics Universe, which is sci-fi universe back in the mid-1990s. But as a single comic, as a single project, this has the most characters. And Ted did a great job of capturing the whole epic nature of this damn thing. Here we go. Do you have audio? You do. Oh my God. Is Ted good or what? Ted is freaking amazing. Hey, thank you for the wishes of good luck, Doomatron. There can be no doom when I have you supporting me. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, here's what the status is of launching with Indiegogo. They absolutely insist. They do not want me to launch this campaign unless I give them bank information. Now, I've given them bank information before. This is absolutely not my first campaign that I've done with them. This is the third campaign I've done with them. But every time they do it, they like you to put in new bank information. So I'm going to put it in live. Now, in case you guys want to access my bank accounts, take a pen and write down this bank account number. Only kidding. Do not ever, even jokingly, give out your banking information. That is always a mistake. That is silly. But you are seeing me correct this dilemma as we speak. I do bank with Chase, though, if you want to look me up there. I bank with Chase from back before when it was Washington Mutual, and now it is not. Now Chase took it over. All the banks are getting bigger, and the fun goes on. Wow, this is really kind of funny. Anyway, that's life, man. That happens sometimes. Don Chin, they want my firstborn, and they can't have him. He's too cute. Don't ever give your kids away to Indiegogo. It will be a mistake. I really want to read my bank account out loud. It would be easier to type it, but I'm not going to do that because that's really all right. The last two digits are 74. Hopefully that will satisfy them. Yes, anybody can make embarrassing mistakes. It's not just me. You too can do that. Will it? Now let me launch. Okay. Boy, the mermaids. They're trying to stop the mermaids. They cannot stop the mermaids. Please recruit. I did completed it. Maybe I'll launch it tomorrow. What's the big deal? Customer bill. Okay. They added an extra step on this, guys. Just go through it all first. Don't be like me launching it live. Boy, if Carl Rowe could see me now from Death Sworn, he loves to attack me, and rightfully so, because he does it with love. I should have had him here. Carlo Rowe, I miss you. If you're listening, say something like I'm an idiot or whatever you like to say about me. He's like the son I never had. because my son's good. Only kidding. I love Carl. Great to see you guys. I believe it's live now, which means the backing can begin. The excitement can begin. Is it live? Yes, I think it's live. Okay. Whoever backs it first, you will be the first one to back it. Bank it. Trevor Nelson says, bank info? They don't know I'm Jewish? You're supposed to be part of the club, aren't you? Yeah, I have like all these side Jewish accounts that they're supposed to be using. I don't know why they are. They should be doing that. Carl is somewhere drinking, doing it successfully. Richard tells me that it's live. Richard, thank you for that information. Now, Carl, actually, he was a part of launching College Day, Graduation Day, and he pointed out that I have to email my people to let people know it's live. I do have an email campaign ready to let people know that it's live. So I just click send on that. That will let everyone know on my email list who signed up for the pre-orders, and just to be notified. They will be now notified, which is fantastic. Shadowhawk loves me, and I hope the rest of you love me too. I do. I appreciate you guys. It's exciting to make comics. I was saying earlier, I spent so much time working on the Mermaids. This is not a project that I just threw together. And I have thrown projects together before, not this one. Now, somebody asked me to take a look at the tiers. So we will definitely go through the tiers. I just want to kind of give you guys an overview of what the Mermaids is, what I kind of envisioned it to be, and also to give thanks to the creative people that I work with to put this together. Because one of the things for me is I'm not, oh, Leggy Vampire, much appreciated. Leggy Vampire likes me too. Rankabot, Chris Rankowitz, super talented guy. You're going to see a lot more Chris Rankowitz. He's got a project coming too. Kevin, thank you. Thank you for saying it looks awesome. I really appreciate that. Guys, I appreciate the feedback. I don't do any of this all by myself, so I'm kind of like naturally collaborative and social when I make a project. So I did have the idea, though, to do a Mermaids series, and I worked on a Mermaids comic before this, which is nothing like this one. And I'll talk about that in another stream because I don't want to get distracted. But it was really, really cool. I love how that one came out too. And it never turned into a comic. But then I saw Game of Thrones, and I was like, well, what if you took Game of Thrones, but it was all mermaids? And I started to work on the idea a little bit. And I was like, well, if you did Game of Thrones, essentially, like this whole separate fantasy world, but they were all mermaids, it's interesting because there's so many different interesting social dynamics. There's the whole fantasy element. There are beautiful scenes and settings. The artists who worked on this were brilliant. They did fantastic work. I had 2 writers and 1 professional former Marvel Comics editor who was working with me on kind of organizing all of it. And I'm kind of surprised. He's Jim Salicrup. I owe him a lot of thanks. He was also the editor on Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. I mean, he's a personal friend, just a freaking great guy. But in any event, I'm surprised he didn't discourage me. He just this was me getting back into comics. So I was in comics. I've been out of comics. Where are the mermen? There are no mermen yet, at least yet in this series. Oh, Jerome, thank you so much for backing. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for supporting it and backing it. Oh, thank you. Yes, so frats. So see, I got the goods. I've got the goods. And in fact, I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I do have a prototype printed version of that cover that everybody likes so much. We've already got that printed. I like to work in advance as much as possible. This book is completely done. This book, I started work. I was going to tell you some of the editorial background on it. I started work on this 7-8 years ago with that really great creative team. And then we completed it a couple of years after. So I've kind of had this ready to go for a while. And it was a choice of like College of the Dead first or this one first. So this one, there are 4 covers, and people love this art. All the art is great, but people really love what Jerry Gertrudia did for me. And I found him on Facebook. Brilliant guy. He lives in Indonesia. Really, really talented. I saw him drawing fairies, and he had drawn on social media, on Facebook. He had drawn these fairies that were like, they're all fairies, but they all look they look unique. They had a common element. They were different. So I was like, wow, this guy would be great to work with on character development. So I started working with Jerry, and Jerry, he started off, I was looking to have him do like 5 or 6 designs. I wound up having him do more than 30 designs. And you can see some of those designs here at the bottom. This is just like a quick dozen of them. These are going to be all in the Making of Mermaids book. So I have more than 20 of these that are going to be full page illustrations, just like the cover, by Jerry. And if you look, like this octopus one is just amazing. They're all really beautifully, beautifully done. So I just kept Jerry going, design after design after design. And that's really how I helped to kind of conceive of the characters and what some of the different features it would be. We have like a shark mermaid. We have an electric eel mermaid. We have kid mermaids. We have elderly mermaids. We've got sexy young mermaids. We've got cool mermaids. And we've got a couple of these octopus guard mermaids. They almost look like Kraken, but they're not Kraken. They're octopi. Although we could have a Kraken. So in any case, yeah, that's how it kind of got going. And then Jerry, not just Jerry, because Javier did such a freaking unbelievable, beautiful job on College of the Dead, especially the recent covers. I asked Javier to do 2 covers for the mermaids. And this one, swimming, is Idris. She's one of the many, many characters in the book. And then, okay, this is the other one with the sigh that Jerry did, Jerry Gertrudia. Just beautiful, beautiful pieces. And then this is the other one that Javier did. And Farah Nurama Zila, if I'm saying her name right, did on the coloring. Boy, did she do a fantastic job. She adds so much to this. This is why I get mostly excited about ideas and being able to collaborate with just different creative people. You guys, it's great to do your own project, but when you can also collaborate with other people on it. Oh, thank you guys again for backing so much. Thank you for the support. Hey, Ted Lehman, I haven't seen you in a while. Ted's an amazing artist too. But I really, really love to collaborate, because everyone, like, we're all good at different things. To be good at everything all by yourself, that ain't easy. So luckily, I'm only good at like high concept. Like, the ideas I get are actually very good. I've gotten great compliments on them. But you know, then collaborating with other people and trying to bring out their best and in a team environment, that's my other good strength. But I very rarely try to like outdo the writer or anything like that. We just we work on the ideas together. In fact, talking about the writing in this, this was written by, I want to pronounce her name properly. So this was written by MJ Neguliera, and she just likes to be called MJ, and Stefan Petruka. Stefan is the writer who worked with me on College of the Dead, and they did a great job of making the world. And I know Jim, when he helped me on editing with this, he did more of the writing than I think I'm even aware of, to be honest, because he would polish MJ's work when it would come in, and then Stefan came in at the end and tightened up so much cool stuff in it. You'll see the flow of the writing is really excellent. And then on the interior art, we have David Lorenzo and Esther Sands for coloring. And the interior art is a really classic style. Now, I have done these 6-panel pages before. This Mermaids book 1 is a 6-panel page. And so the whole book is 6-panel pages. But the storytelling, you can see the art is really carefully done. And again, maybe it's just I picked the right guys. I don't know. But David's characters look unique. They look very unique. They're really well illustrated. They're all mermaids, but they all look like different people. I have spoken to David already about his interest in doing a Mermaids book too. And he said yes. And I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing more dynamic panel layouts. And he's like, I would love it. I would love it. Just let me know when. So we'll just see if people like it. You know, I love doing these projects for me, but also when you guys do projects, the margins are going to be sweet, Gabe. I will tell you all about the margins in just one second. When you guys are going to do projects, think of it this way. You know, you are doing it for yourself. And if you're doing it for a hobby, do whatever you want to do. Literally, it doesn't matter. You can make money, lose money, whatever. But if you're doing it as a business and you know you're going to have other people, especially if you have other contributors, they're counting on the money, you have to be very aware of and respectful of what do people want? What do they like? You know, sometimes an idea, when it comes together, people love it, but sometimes they don't. So if people don't like it, if it just isn't a commercial success, you can take your talents and put them to something else. So this was but this project was one that I really was important to me to do. So there's nothing that stops this Mermaids book from coming out. We have a $500 fixed goal, but this book is done and it's ready to get printed. So it'll be delivered latest April 2021. But we'll see. Are we going to do another? This is intended to be an ongoing series. We'll see how people like it. Somebody's asking about the margins. So with College of the Dead, we did the same 6-panel layouts. But when the books are the way the 6 panels are designed, this could be a 2-panel per page book, or it could be 6 panels, or it could even be, in some other crazy world, as many as 8 panels or something. The panels are 6 panels per page, but the comic size is a little wider. And I appreciate you asking that question, Gabe. That was very cool. Gabe, what we're doing is this. We're doing a Golden Age width, which is like a little bit of a half an inch wider than my previous College of the Dead comic. You can't see it in this prototype book, but it's going to be in, you'll see it when I have a later prototype. So it's very, very cool. So we'll have a little bit of a width, which will give me an opportunity to make the panels like a larger percentage of the page, which is again, when you're publishing, you want to listen to what customers say. People love College of the Dead. I'm working on College of the Dead 3 right now. It's going to have dynamic panel layouts. I'm not going to do the 6-panel grid for College of the Dead 3 for College of the Dead Spring Break. We have a new artist working on it. He is fantastic. And I just approved the first 6 pages of his layouts. But you'll see his work is great. I'll do an update stream just on College of the Dead on that series. People really like that, and it's the same writer. And boy, is Stefan talented. I love working with him. This is a making of book that I'm doing. I like when possible, and it has been possible, so I'm going to continue to do it, to be able to do these making of books. And the making of books are important. The making of books give you the full script, so word for word, as if it was a movie script, the full script of what's going on, with all dialogue and all descriptions for what the artist is supposed to draw. And this is an example of it in 2 pages. We also have, if there's photo reference we use sometimes, we do that as well. So this is David's rough layout for us to approve. And this is MJ and Stefan's scripting to instruct David. So that there's over 80 pages of that. And then there's also an additional 20 plus pages in the Mermaids making of book. And that's a black and white book, but it's 100 pages. It's a very substantial book. I couldn't not publish, and we have so much work from Jerry. So I'm telling people that there's going to be 20 plus full page designs by Jerry Gertrudia in here. There's probably going to be more because we have more than 30. It's so amazing. So we also have, I've been telling people, oh, thanks, Gabe. Trevor, you will love it. You will learn from it. It'll inspire you. I promise you, Trevor. So now, because we had all these character designs, I got with Stefan and I was like, Stefan, I want to really flesh out more of the world. I want to talk about each of these characters and the background. There's so much background story. So I told Stefan we were going to do these. Initially, I planned on doing trading cards. I don't have any plans right now to do trading cards with this development work. But if you look, like each paragraph is one of the characters. So this is Jonna. So Jonna is the first one I have listed. All of these character descriptions, and there's 36 of these, are all going to be part of the making of book because that's the only place we have room for it. I was looking at trying to jam it into the 48-page graphic novel. There really isn't appropriate space for it. And this is part of the making of. So Jonna, for example, Jonna, a gifted teacher, she's our main protagonist. Jonna spent her early life in service of the young. She's a teacher for the young mermaids. So when she finally indulges her own passions, they nearly destroy her. While tutoring the childlike Princess Melina, Johnny falls hopelessly in love with the dark visiting Princess Idris. The torrid affair ends with the announcement of a political engagement between Idris and Melina, leaving Jonna devastated and suicidal. Though planning to end her misery on a wedding day, a visit from her benefactor, Vava, opens her eyes to the devastation caused by Queen Leaf. Rather than end her life, she devotes it to overthrowing the queen and the house of her former lover. So, are there female mermaids that are in love in this book? 100% there are. Basically, because Jana fell in love with a princess mermaid, and then that marriage was broken up by another prearranged marriage because, hey, she's royal. She's still good for her. Jana decides to overcome her stress and anxiety over that by fighting to overthrow this evil Queen Leaf. This is so much here. I think I can tell you, we could spend 5 hours going over all of the world of the mermaids. It's absolutely outrageous how much work there is in this. Normally, I don't do this much development work for any one comic book. It was just the nature of it. Hey, thank you, Kirk. Long live Kirk Lindo and the Mermaids. Someone says a question about the making of, on the left, it looks like Mandy Summers. That it could look like Mandy Summers. She's very lovely, but it wasn't intentional. Get over it. But don't get over it. That's your name. Is there any scale on scale action? Well, this is PG-13. This is for teen. Sirens of the Sapphic Steel. There is, so this is absurdly extensive. Now, all of this content is in the listing. So if you have all day to look through it, you can certainly look at it and read it, read as much of it as you want. It's all there, and it will be included in the Making of the Mermaids book. But it just has to be. We can't not show all that work that we did. Also, my project before this, College of the Dead, is still up at collegeofthedead.com. But there are some people that, to save on shipping if you haven't gotten College of the Dead yet, or if you want to add that to your order, you can definitely check out. You can either go to collegeofthedead.com and get that in demand from the other campaign, so it would ship immediately, or just add it to the Mermaids order. And we made that available. There's the College of the Dead books came out great. I'll tell you, I've made a lot of comics in the past, and there have been a couple of people that are in the chat. I see you guys. Yeah, Rankabot, you see that? That's Kirk Lindo. Kirk used to run my comic book studio. He used to run Personality Comics for me back in like 1991 through maybe 93 or something like that. But in 2 years, we did so much work. It was amazing. We put out so many books. Rankabot is Chris Rankowitz. He's a very talented artist, and he was in Trevor, that's a funny question. Rankabot was part of our team. He came to us from Marvel's little studio for new talent, for interns or whatever. We were able to actually pay him more than he was making at Marvel, which I was thrilled with. And then we eventually lost him because he was too damn good to keep. Happens sometimes, out of our control. Daniel, thank you so much for backing the project. I really, really appreciate it. Kevin, yeah, you're right. They really would make good prints. We may have to do prints. I don't have prints on this campaign. I'm just, I'm overly careful about making sure that I can ship everything and that all the numbers work. And we can make sure they come in perfect condition. So I'll have to do a little bit more, homework on that. You are here to see Mermaids, AAT. Yes, they are there. I promise they are there. Don't be a wet fish. Check out the Mermaids. Thanks as always, Violet. All right, we can refresh the campaign. We do have a few backers. Thank you guys so much for the support. It's really, really appreciated. We will let the world know. If you can share the campaign, 1355. Guys, thank you so much. This is like a huge, huge support for this project. And I hope they will all be shipped in perfect condition. I'm way ahead on the production. I definitely don't fool around. In fact, I'd love to show you guys. Okay. It's going to be full screen. Adam Post. Let me show you. Yes, I'm in my son's workroom, but I want to show you. I do have prototypes of a couple of these books. This is the cover. The interior is just a black and white mock-up. It's not the regular book, but just so you can see the cover, it is beautiful. This was supposed to just be a character design, but Jerry did such an amazing job. It wound up getting finished as a cover, and the colorist is Esther Sands. She worked on that for me a few years ago. She was recommended by a great artist agent named Eduardo Apuente. And she did all the coloring on the inside of the book. And she also colored more than 15 of Jerry's pieces. So I'm going to have to do something with that work. I just haven't figured out what to do with it yet, because there's so much work. What do you do with all of it? This is the colored mock-up, for Javier's cover of the swimming mermaid, known as Idris. All right. She just beautiful, beautiful work. I also bought the original art for these pieces. I don't think I can put them on the campaign, though. I love the pieces too much. This is Idris and Jana. And look at the coloring that Farah is able to do. She's fantastic. She's coloring something else for me right now for my next project, and I'll show that to you guys probably in about a month, just so we can start becoming aware of it. I want to be able to release books on a regular schedule and make sure that they ship on time. Friends of Flipper. Yep, these are Friends of Flipper. So, guys, thank you so much for being supportive of this campaign. Trevor asked earlier, am I paying the creative team scale? Because scale is an implication about their tails. And the answer to that question is yes. And all the creators have been paid for this project. Where is the Narwhal type mermaid? Narwhal, I did talk to Narwhal about doing a cover months ago. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin, I know you like original art too. I'll think of something. I will think of something to offer prints or something, or maybe an original. Ken, great to see you. Ken is also part of the original studio from Personality Comics back in 1992. I hope that we get past all this crazy COVID stuff as soon as possible. There's no way I can do this now, I don't think. But guys, it was so great to have an art studio of creative team together, and you can see, like, some of us are still friends, and some of us are even still working together after so many years. This is going back to like 1992, which is unbelievably almost 30 years ago, of guys just meeting each other, working on comics, all in the same studio, learning from each other, doing whatever Kirk said to do, because Kirk was the boss. Kirk was my enforcer. Kirk could get anything done. So I would go into Kirk. We'd want to make a comic, and I'd be like, okay, Kirk, here's the idea. He's like, okay, what's the budget? And I would tell him how much budget we had for it. And the budget scaled. Some books we would produce for less than $1,000. Some books were more than $10,000. It would just depend. And, they would, we would just get it done. We'd get it done on time. We had our studio. We had also freelancers that we worked with, guys working from home, normal, independent freelancers. And then we also had some name talent that we worked with to produce just some fantastic artwork, especially on spoof comics. And spoof comics has got to come back in one way or another. And it will be probably another. It's coming back soon. Working on that. Time of Dying asks, could College of the Dead and Mermaids be in the same world? They could be in the same world. It wasn't planned that way. They started kind of independently. So as of now, there's no plans for it, but I am really anxious to have characters interact from the same world whenever I can. I want to do that again really, really badly. Hey, Kirk, thank you so much. And Kirk has been a great friend and really helpful to still producing comics after all these years. Kirk also makes his own comics, and you can look up Luxora. She is the vampire queen, the ultimate vampire queen, I should say. And Kirk is a super talented artist and creator as well. But yeah, I love the idea of characters kind of be sharing their own world and being in their own world. Now the mermaids, of course, all exist in their own world, but the mermaids is ridiculously enormous. I keep cracking myself up because this is not like a normal thing to do. If you're going to create a comic, it's good to focus on, like, especially if you're new, you focus on like one or two major characters, and you also try to make it iconic. So this book could have been called even Jana, because it's her main story. But it's not. It's the mermaids. It's bigger than that. I went bigger than that. But if you're going to work on your own thing, this is not a good. This isn't a good example. You don't need to create 35 characters. You can tell a smaller story with your character, on its own arc. starting out where they're established in one situation, then something happens and they change. Try to make it so that it's not just purely episodic. Try to make it so that something really does genuinely change about your character, and they're struggling and overcoming something. You keep it with a limited, sensible story. Don't be as crazy as me and try to do 35. Because the other reason why is this did take years to get to the point where it would be ready to offer, and it took 3 years probably to get to that point. That's not the way to do it. You want to just get your book out, show it to people, keep your promises, and deliver. Hey, Patrick, good to see you, man. Zombie mermaids, I know. Undead mermaids. Maybe we have to think about it. Same world, but different century. Luis, I appreciate you bringing that up. I had a whole separate idea for an alternate Earth where it'd be like this whole, magic and fantasy world, whatever, but that would have taken place on our Earth, but just thousands of years ago. And thank God I stopped working on that, because it would have never ended. There would have been way, way, way too much going on for way too long, with too many characters and too many stories. You really have to control the scope of the work. Otherwise, it gets to be a problem. So could it be a different world, a different century? Absolutely could be. But we're not trying to do that. Oh my God, 35 character prints, a folder with, it could be. There have been a lot of guys I've seen, portfolios and stuff done where it's like you take an 11/17 or 12/18, even black and white, and then you do like several prints and you put them in a nice envelope. That's not impossible. It's just, I would have, if I really started working on it, it would have made me crazy, and then I would have never gotten the campaign out. Love Pigeon, great artist in his own right. Where's the mermaid post cameo? Well, you'll have to see if I'm in there or not. But I'm not actually in there. Luxura. Yeah, I don't belong as a mermaid. I don't think I've made any cameos in my comics. Not that I'm aware of. 8.5, 11. Yeah, it's viable. What does Glitch say? I may have missed it, but is the making of book available as an add-on? Yes, 100%. It's supposed to be. If anybody's aware of it or not, can I check that out? I wouldn't. Yeah, I should be able to check it out. The making of book is available as an add-on, and I definitely wanted it to be. I tried to kind of offer as many different options as possible with the add-ons. I don't like people being forced to buy sets and things like that, and I absolutely want you guys to have an opportunity to see the making of book. Stefan is such a disciplined and thorough contributor, such a thorough writer, that when you see his scripting and then you see the layouts that result from his scripting, you'll see the making of mermaids is definitely available as an add-on, according to my perks list. But yeah, Stefan's writing is really, really excellent, and you can really see what kind of instructions he's giving and what they look like. And wait till you guys see what he wrote for me for College of the Dead Spring Break. That is my favorite thing he ever wrote so far. But it's sort of every time we work together, he improves like my expectation of like, all right, well, it's got to be amazing. In fact, just as a funny inside thing with working with Stefan. So Stefan, there's a character that we have who's this beautiful, carefree character in College of the Dead named Haley. And we see her partying. That's why it's taking place with Spring Break. And then there's something that goes wrong, and she starts getting pissed off, and she starts using the F word, and she's F this, F that. And then I wrote Stefan about it originally when I first saw it. And I was like, look, Stefan, could you just edit that out? Because I don't want to, there's no reason to have curses, in your dialogue ever. There's no reason for you to do it. There's no reason for me or for Stefan to do it, except if Stefan's actually writing and, his work is legitimately very, very good. And it's very true to the character. I went back and I looked at it and I was like, Stefan, disregard what I said. Disregard what I said. This is perfect. In fact, any other notes I gave you, take them away, especially with respect to dialogue. There are a couple of things we changed, but the guy's fantastic. He's fantastic. It's so appropriate for the character and so well done. Glitch, you're very welcome. Thank you. All right. Jerome wants to know what's next. Mermaid College with a mer zombie Seapocalypse. I like that word, Seapocalypse. That could happen. That could happen. We're very big in continuity. So there's a lot of threads of the story, and it really is Jonna's story of her actually like now becoming a warrior. And I know we have to focus on that for the second book of the Mermaids. We can't not deal with that. So that would really be focused around her and her quest to overturn Queen Leaf. And it really is almost like a Star Wars type of story, even though it's female characters. And, you see all these changes going on with these SJWs being involved in creative projects and being involved in comics and also the damaging Star Wars. And what they're doing is they're attacking typical Western storytelling. And you're supposed to have a hero who's not a Mary Sue. You're supposed to have a hero who overcomes and struggles and has to fight to get where they're trying to go. And we absolutely have this in the Mermaids. And it's not a gender thing with a character. It could be a male character, a female character, whatever. But you don't need a certain gender, obviously, to show a character that could really be a hero. So it's a very heroic story. And it's funny because some of these I like to start working on some of the writing, and I start working on it myself. And similarly, with G.I. Jackrabbits, which is a remake of a series a comic I did in 1986. It is a G.I. Joe. It started off as just a parody, and now it's a lot more than that. I was working with Professor Geek, and he and I, that one we did co-write, but his suggestions were so fantastic. So I'm just addicted to collaborating with people. And also, too, like whenever I contribute to one of my projects, I want it to be better because I worked on it. I don't want it to be weaker because I worked on it. So for me, it's being able to work with people who are really great, and Jerry did these beautiful covers, and I tested Jerry on the sequential art. And Jerry he's a really good artist, but for what I was looking for on the sequential art, and I have to send that to a friend who was asking about that. But in any event, the sequential art, it wasn't as absolutely magnificent and correct for Jerry as this. So as his character designs, which is why I kept Jerry to the character designs and then went on with a new artist to go ahead and do the sequential art. But David Lorenzo, the guy who did the sequential art, really did a fantastic job. He's working for a video game company now and doing a little freelance comic stuff here and there. But he is fantastic. He is just he's really something else. But collectively, you can see like collaborating as a team where everybody's playing to their strengths. You're going to have a very unique and a very special project when the project comes out. And that's why it's such a privilege to work with people. I know I repeat myself a lot, but I'm so sincere about this when I say like I really appreciate all the creative contributions. And these guys, like I come up with an idea for something, but it's not going to make, oh, hey, Eddie, thank you so much. Eddie has a book that's launching today too. And I want to mention that add-on doesn't appear on individual covers. Swimming and Jonna perk doesn't add for shipping or shipping info. Uh-oh. Terra Wombat is telling me I have a legitimate terror to deal with. Well, there's no shipping. All right. So on my add-ons, there isn't supposed to be shipping. Why? Because you're already paying shipping once. I don't want you paying shipping again. So, because I don't have to charge you shipping. I can just slip it in the box, bing, bang, boom. No extra charge on the shipping. But it does sound like there's some other kind of problem going on. It does not appear on the individual covers. Why doesn't it appear on the individual covers? Arm and a leg set. Oh, because I didn't do it? No, I did do it. Well, there's no way to preview it too. So how dare I? How dare I make a mistake? Well, I apologize for that, Terra Wombat. I don't like making mistakes. And maybe it's their fault and not mine, but it's my responsibility. So I will fix it. I apologize for that. I'll figure out what I got to do to fix it. Eddie Winkler for $5. Thank you, Eddie. Eddie is launching today too. Eddie, please put the name of your book. I don't want to say it wrong in the chat. And you guys want to check his book out, Sovereign Wolf. But in case I get it wrong, as well, Backer 22. Thank you so much for supporting us, Eddie. Eddie is a really hardworking, damn decent guy. He just wants to put out a beautiful comic, and you got to respect that. And I've seen it, and I've seen your trailer too, Eddie. Ted showed me some of what you guys are working on. Beautiful, beautiful video trailer. Speaking of trailers, I'm going to go ahead. You didn't see add-ons? Hey, Green Apple. Did anyone else see any add-ons? I don't. Oh, come on, use. Well, how come it's not going to let me do add-ons? Why would it not do add-ons? I'm the ones that's supposed to answer questions like that. Guys, I apologize. So if you guys back anything, I'm going to do an email anyway. No add-ons. Okay. Why not? Okay. Anybody who backs anything, Zofrats, no add-ons. All right. There will be add-ons because what I'm going to do is this, guys. I will figure out what the problem is. I will deal with the problem so that there are add-ons, and anyone who wants to add anything on is going to be able to for zero shipping, because I'll just give you a link to a secret. Bass Marine, did you see add-ons on anything else, or was it no individual cover add-ons? So if you did see add-ons on other stuff, then let me know. And by the way, you may have to scroll through the add-ons. You may have to scroll a little bit because I think there's kind of a bunch of them. I'm going to lose my mind if I try to do this, or I'm going to just get distracted if I try to do it now while we're talking. But the swimming cover is, I have an add-on right here. Why is it not visible? No, it says it's visible. Duplicate perk. I just added. All right, I'm going to add the individual covers again and see if they pop up. Mermaid swimming cover. And I bet you I'm doing it wrong. I hope not. I might be doing it wrong. And by the way, you just have to laugh sometimes. I mean, come on. Sometimes problems happen. So somebody got the mermaid daggers. Oh, yeah. Why would they not be visible? This is it sounds like it's an offline type of problem. You got the complete set, no add-on. Oh, yes, there's a step that I forgot. And because you told me about the complete set, you just made me realize, okay, as ridiculous as this sounds, check this out. So they have add-ons, but the add-ons, you have to associate one at a time which ones of the add-ons are associated with which product, such that swimming along. Thank you, Patrick. All right, guys, I did make a mistake with the add-ons. It's not Indiegogo's fault. I'll tell you what the mistake was, just so you don't ever make it. And also so you can see, I'm a man that lives up to his mistakes. The mistake is this. When you create an add-on, you must associate what products that comes up with. So it's not enough to just create an add-on. You have to somehow associate, not somehow, you have to associate the perk with the ones that the add-on is applicable to. So this would be like if you were selling a t-shirt and you wanted to only offer a hat as an add-on to the people that bought the t-shirt, but not necessarily all the products that you're offering. Is that logical? You know, it is. Do I remember while I'm live with you guys right now how the heck to do it? Postman Comics. Tara Wombat. The 2-pack swimming in John and Idris doesn't ask for shipping. Well, that must be on the add-on. So what I did, guys, unfortunately, was I did the add-on, but I didn't associate the add-on properly with the products and with the right perks. Now, for the life of me, I have absolutely no idea how to do that right now. Yeah. So they exist. They're there. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not like I haven't done this before. I've done this like a gazillion times before. But I made a mistake. But I will be punished appropriately. Well, that at least answers what the heck happened. John and Idris. See, don't let this happen to you. Don't be a fool. Stay in school. So you have to associate the add-ons properly with the regular perks, which actually is very logical. It's not their fault. It's totally my fault. Is there actually a way that I can do this as a bulk action? Well, it'll let me delete them. Okay. All right. I think I know how to do this, guys. I'm going to do this. Somebody say a small prayer. Zofrat's probably you. Say a prayer. Let's see if I can get this done the right way. Yes, I can. All right. Praised be. Anybody who is going to want an add-on, but they weren't available at the time, whatever, I will be sending all of you guys links where you can get any add-ons that you want with free shipping. So you will have the same thing as if it was an add-on. And if anybody had backed me from College of the Dead, you may have noticed I did that on College of the Dead as well. And to be honest with you, it's good business to do that. You know, you set up secret perks. So Francis, praying the best you can. Have you sacrificed any live animals yet? If not, I don't know. Hey, you've got that Shane Davis look about you. Does he got to restart it? I don't know. Invite. Yeah, I love Patrick. Patrick, do you want to come on and chill, brother? I'll send you a link. But let me just click this one set up button. Set up add-ons. Oh my God, I can do it. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for mentioning this. Thanks for mentioning this. It's embarrassing I made that mistake. I am not perfect. Handsome, yes. Creative, sure. But perfect, no. Hey, Charlie's London, how you doing? Great to see you. You know what I'm looking for? I'm going to try and find my brother Patrick right now. Patrick, drop everything, brother. I need you. This is like a G.I. Joe mission. Stop screen. Invite. See if Patrick can jump in on the game. Brother Patrick. Patrick has a toy he's making that looks outrageous. Outrageous. Fantastic toy. Johnny Phantasm toy. Let's see if I can find Patrick. There's Patrick. Patrick, if you can, jump on in, brother. It'd be great to have you. All right, Charlie says this. Very nice person. Same thing happened to me on launch. I had add-on issues. You want to chat about it, hit me up. Love you, dude. Oh, thank you. I love you too, Charlie's London. Charlie's London has a great project, surprisingly called Charlie's London. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Invite Kirk. Oh, I got to invite Kirk Lindo, the great. My true brother from another mother. No question. Let me invite you right now. This is going to Kirk. Yeah, if Kirk was here, this add-on thing would have been handled 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. Wow, we've been streaming for an hour. You guys are so much fun. Seems like it's 5 minutes. Kirk, I just sent you the link as well. So we got you rocking in there. And guys, I don't know if you've all seen the trailer yet. Oh yeah, stretch goals. Yeah, Jamie, thank you for that. I will work on the prints. I'm going to talk to other CG people. I have to do it. And you know what? I made some beautiful prints of even Javier's College of the Dead covers too, that they were really just exceptional. But I just got a little concerned, like making sure we could deliver them in perfect condition. I'm just so cautious. Peter Cimetti helped you out. Peter Cimetti is absolutely wonderful. Hopefully you guys can see the add-ons now. I think that's fixed. But again, I'm going to send you guys a link where you can add on. Oh, there you go. Get over it. I will never get over it. There's always something to say about your name. Add-ons are live. Glad to have them. Absolutely thrilled to have them. I can't believe this campaign is live. I spent so many years working on this campaign. Whoever thought this project was going to become live? I don't know. I kept announcing it and working on it, and now it's live. It's incredible. Pack of trading cards would be great. Yeah, I'm going to entertain a lot of different ideas for stretch goals. Maybe we do have some other additional colored artwork of Jerry's that looks absolutely beautiful that might make really great trading cards as maybe a stretch goal. And those are kind of not too hard to fulfill. Yeah, trading cards for sure. So I'm going to work on it. Do it. That's not how you spell. Oh, it is how you spell do. It's pretty cool. Peter Samedi is not a god. He is an angel. He will not accept God status, but I think he will accept angel status. Peter, of course, publishes all the Alterna comics, and he has really, really done a lot for independent comics publishing and for creators to be able to put their comics out now. And it's great, and it's a privilege to be associated with Peter now in on the COMICSGATE streams. And Peter's been very supportive of me too. I knew Peter from back in the day, like when he published his first book, The Chair. He went to the mall that we have because Peter used to live on Long Island where I live. No, I think Archangel's bad. He's a good angel. And Peter was he was always hustling. Peter is out there at the mall selling copies of The Chair. And I bought one because I'm like, what are you even doing here? This is incredible. Independent comic book publisher just at the local mall, set up a table and, just meeting people and offering comics. And you can't stop Peter Samedi. He's a force of nature. Yeah, the guy who's doing Thomas More. Is that you, David? I forgot the name of your No, that's not you, but it's a different guy. But yeah, he's another fantastic artist doing Thomas More. Archangel means he's high level, not evil. All right, good. So then, yeah, we can call him an Archangel. I don't know. He's got to accept the title. He's got to be comfortable with it. Shadowhawk, Kirk. Luxura there's new Luxura 2 Shadowhawk. You have to check that out. Just type, I don't know if it's Luxura.com or LuxuraComic.com, but check it out. Definitely check it out. Kirk is doing some great work. And Kirk's going to be doing campaigns. He's done some campaigns already, but we're going to get him over to Indiegogo ASAP and getting some other good new campaigns. Guys, we're already up to 1905. Thank you so much. It took College of the Dead much more time to get here. College Dead graduation day. Your guys' support is fantastic, and I really appreciate it. And speaking of the great and super talented Kirk Landale, College Dead graduation day. Your guys' support is fantastic. You got to turn my ass off on the background. Speaking of the great and super talented Kirk Landale, Kirk, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, just turn us off in the background.
All right, hang on. Gotcha.
Like being on the radio, my man. Kirk has an amazing radio voice too. You will love Kirk's radio voice.
Hey, how we doing now? What's going on?
Fantastic. We got it, Kirk.
Hey,
Kirk,
congrats, brother. The campaign looks amazing, man. I love it.
Yeah,
man. It looks amazing.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Just like the old days, we're making comics together again.
I know.
Making it happen.
Looking good. The artwork is beautiful. I mean, I guess I'm biased because you've been showing it to me for about the last year or so. And
Kirk is like, I don't want to. Kirk is like, he's got my back on everything. So when Kirk is like, yeah, you've been showing it to me for the last year or so, he's covering for me because I've been showing it.
Right.
I appreciate that,
Kirk. A little
Kirk.
bit longer than that, right? Yeah, I didn't want.
No, he didn't want to put me on blast or anything, but I've been showing it to Kirk for about probably 7 years. I went back and I was looking at some of my old. I just stopped looking. I've been working on it a really long time, and Kirk, isn't it true when you're making stuff, like if you're going to do stuff, anything, if it doesn't have a deadline, it just takes forever.
Yeah, it just keeps going. That at some point you got to say, okay, now it's time to pull the trigger. But I'd say that in the case of what you've been doing in your, I don't know, is this your third comic career or your fourth comic career?
Fourth, I think it's my fourth.
It's your fourth comic career. First was the Jackrabbits. Second was
Personality.
Personality. Third was Pop.
Well, Personality and Triumphant.
Yeah, Triumphant.
Pop was just a side thing, couple months. Yeah. It's like a side bitch type of deal.
The fourth one,
she didn't mean nothing to me. Fourth one, there was Angel. Then there was Angel Entertainment, and then
right. Yeah,
and then now this.
Yeah, but you know, in this one, you took all of your experiences from all of that stuff before, good and bad. Every, you know, talented person that you ran into along the way and learned something from. And, you know, the reason why it took a while to put the mermaids together is you just kind of made the decision, because, you know, I was listening to you the whole time, that, listen, this is going to be good. And if for some reason it doesn't sell, it's not going to be because the art is bad. It's not going to be because the story's good, because you just started from scratch with the desire. Okay, this is going to be the best thing that I can produce. I'm going to try to find the best talent I can find, you know, within my budget. And, you know, you just worked hand in hand all the way through. So, you know, it sounds like 7 years, but, you know, I think something that people don't understand, you also have a complete life outside of this, which everybody does, you know. I mean,
yeah, we do.
Family, work, and all of that. So it's not like you were doing it 12 hours a day for 7 years. It was after family and everything else until this became viable. And
yeah,
you know,
and you know what else too,
way,
Kirk, was
the book looks
I
great.
wanted to make sure that I could do really, really good comics when I do them. You know,
Right.
I have zero. I mean, I want to make a lot of money publishing comics. I think ultimately I will. It's great. But I didn't mean to refresh. Actually, I was trying to page out. But what I wanted to make sure I did was that no one could look at like the idea and the story and be like, this isn't good. You're like, what? This is, or this is exactly like something else. It's similar to Game of Thrones. It's not the same as Game of Thrones. It's the concept of a royalty structure within a fantasy world, and they're all mermaids. So there's similarities. But when I made this book, I really wanted to make a point of like, this has to be really, really good. And, you know, it's similar like with College of the Dead, my attitude was like, it does not make sense that they are not like there isn't a property that's like or an ongoing series where you focus on college students dealing with a zombie apocalypse. So I should do it, but it can't just be like, I love TNA books and stuff, and I love just like fun and violent and stuff, but I don't want the story to be like just really weak and two-dimensional. I wanted like real characterization. I wanted stuff way over my head in terms of being able to just completely do all that work myself. But like with the mermaids, this was, I don't, it's not something I talked about a lot, but just like here and there, I will mention like Jim Salicrup from Marvel, who worked with Stan and stuff, Stan Lee, you know, he helped me do this. And when I work with people too, I don't know if I ever used to do this to you, Kirk, but sometimes like I'll come up with ideas and I'll let people stop me and I'll be like, all right, yeah, Adam, but that's not, you shouldn't work that hard. Like, or that's a stupid idea, or, you know, give me some feedback or whatever. So I get feedback, you know, but when you work with people you trust, you don't have to hold back. You know, you could be like, well, right, here's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of this or that. And then you and I have these conversations like up to last week, you know, just recent for years. But with this, like, I don't know why Salicrup didn't stop me. I think he just wanted, this was me getting back to comics. So this was started and this was completed. I don't even really know the dates, to be honest. I think this was started before College of the Dead. And I didn't even know how I was going to publish this book.
Right.
No idea.
Let me ask you a question now. Along the way, now, of course, you get the initial idea of, okay, I want to do a mermaid thing, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, creatively, you're feeling around in the dark. And as time goes on, things begin to take shape. And there's a point that you get to where the lights come on and you're like, okay, this is a good project. When did that happen? You know, was there a particular art piece or something? What point did it happen to you that you believed enough in this that you were like, okay, full steam ahead? What was that process like? What kind of happened?
You know, what's interesting is this is what made me feel good about doing this book again, Kirk, which was, this is kind of how, you know, you and I used to work together and we published, remember that time Bill Shanis from Diamond called us? He's like, look, you know, you're doing as many comics this month as DC. How is that even possible?
Yeah, I remember.
And the answer was we had an in-house studio with like 20 artists, and freelance talent on top of that. And not all of our books were at DC's budget. So as Chris Rankowitz or Ken could tell you, but don't ask, but they could tell you, like, sometimes we were doing 4 or 5 pages a day. Sometimes it was a page a day, just depended on the different budgets and the rates. But
well, just to interject very shortly, you know, the studio system that we had set up at the time was very similar to what the comic studios were like back in the early days of comics. Like, you know, Will Eisner has told me several times when I was in his class about how in their studio, they would have different guys to come in and knock out 8 pages in a day and then go home. So,
wow.
You know, it's not.
Did Eisner talk to you about his
sure. When we were in this, he told us everything. He told us how, you know, when he would tell us all sorts of stuff, but he told us about the studio. He told us about everything. So it's, you know, when we started doing that in personality and spoof comics, you know, we were doing. Bill Shamus from Diamond, he didn't expect that, and I don't think you remember, but we had to prove it. Because he called and he said, "Well, listen, I need to see what stage you are at in all of these books."
And we're like, "Bill, it ain't nothing but a thing, man."
Exactly. So I said, "Okay, yeah." So you said, "Kirk, how fast can we get him something?" I go, "I don't know, 2 days. You know, I'll just
yeah."
And so we sent this because this is pre-internet, this is pre-email. So we sent this huge freaking box with copies of covers, scripts, artwork, logos, everything photocopied. It was heavy as a brick.
Mm-hmm. Like a phone book.
Yeah, after that.
But we would make phone books. We would make phone books every day like it was nothing.
Yeah, he didn't
like it was nothing, right? Because my rule at the end of the day in the studio was I want a photocopy of every piece of art that's created every day. And I want a stack of it on my desk. And of course you snap your fingers and I don't know if Chris did that, Christina did that for you, who did it, but there was always a stack of work. So I always knew, I didn't always look at every piece of art every day, but I always knew that work was getting done because nobody was going to screw around and not, you know.
But yeah, so like, back to the question, I was, you know, kind of trying to find out at what stage did the Mermaids really convince you that, okay, I really like this. Now I'm going to put everything into it. I'm going to get my, you know, the best talent, so forth. Was there a piece of artwork that happened? Was there something?
Well, what I do is, you know, sometimes like you don't know how to, there's no such thing as making a hit song. But if you hear something, sometimes, you know, like, all right, that's good. That's cool. That's unique. That's never been done before. That could be a hit. So I've had other ideas and I keep track of them now. You came up with a good suggestion of like, just keep a pad and write down all your ideas because you'll want those and you'll forget them otherwise, which was great advice. But with the Mermaids, I felt like I had a strong idea. And then I started looking for an artist and I found Jerry online on Facebook and he was drawing these individual fairies. So before I knew I wanted to do like Game of Thrones, but mermaids in that genre. So then I found Jerry. Jerry was doing these fairies and it was shocking to me, but he found a way to make all the fairies look unique, even though they were all fairies. I was like, it was unique to me. I'm like, well, how is that possible? So
the project started out with just the individual drawing.
Individual character design. So I would hit Jerry up and I'd be like, Jerry, I need a mermaid with Psy. And I want this type of fantasy look, but it wasn't outside of the realm. That's a big secret in development for people is work with people where, you know, you can look at their existing work and you can picture them being able to do what you want them to do. So Jerry was able to contribute a lot of the development of the designs. Like I didn't tell him do, you know, this Muka-esque stuff in the background. I just wanted to see what a fantasy artist like Jerry could do. Because I knew he could do fairies. So if he could do fairies, he should be able to do mermaids. But now let's make them a little bit more than just that. Let's give them Psy. Let's give them a little personality, but not even a lot of personality. He had a very good sense of what it would take to try to make them look interesting. So he has this one with a battle axe, and all these characters have names. They're all extensive, mostly odd names you would have never heard of. There's Alexa and it's just endless. But in any event, then there was, look, we want to make a mermaid guard with an octopus. Give me a mermaid with who's also an electric eel, so she'd have sort of a different body type. So it then, as we started to develop these characters, then I connected with Jim, and I would have dinner in the city pretty often, and New York City, back when New York City was open. And yeah, and then we would talk about the idea, and he really liked the idea. And Jim, he's a very honest, good person. I really like Salad Krupp a lot. And he's the type to encourage everybody, kind of like a very, that Stan Lee type of character of just positivity. If you love comics, go for it. So Jim connected me with a writer, and then we started to work on ideas back and forth. And the writer and Jim, and we started to come up with a story that we wanted to focus on, of this one mermaid who started off with a very normal life, like just being a teacher, and then fell in love with a princess who was way out of her class, and then had that person taken away, and then had to deal with that change in her life and that tragedy. Sort of like she's always a good girl, does what she's supposed to do. Then a problem happens. Like the one time she goes out and she tries to do something, she's screwed over right away. And then she has to make a decision, like, are you going to let this problem destroy you, or are you going to use this challenge to turn into a stronger person and then have a purpose, which she did. That was really MJ coming up with that storyline. And yeah, she did a great job on that.
No, I had of course, with every comic, the visuals are the big thing. They're the kind of the main thing that attract people. The thing that I thought was really that the style and the look of the artwork fit this particular project so much was the color and the variety. The coloring in this is just really excellent, and the variety of characters. It's not as if every character has a unique fin. The mermaid half of their lower body, the fins are unique and they're different, and it fits with being underwater, because anybody who watches those underwater animal shows, there's lots of color and variety and shape and size, and you guys were able to capture that really well in the mermaid, in the look of the book. That was just a perfect it's sometimes the most powerful things are so subtle, and your brain is so trained to accept them that you don't realize it. In the case of the Mermaids comic, there's all this color, there's all this variety, and it helps to suspend your
suspend disbelief.
Suspend disbelief to, okay, this is an underwater place. It was really, really well done. Really
someone I owe a lot to on this also is JJ Jackson.
JJ's amazing.
She is a super talented person. She does my production. She puts the books together, but she was a colorist. She was a lot of things at Valiant 1.0 when Jim Shooter started Valiant. And before that, she worked with him at Marvel. And she did the color design for Valiant and decided on the palette. But she did the color design for me for the Mermaids. And Esther did a really great job coloring. But this was all under JJ's direction. So JJ really JJ was originally going to color it, but it was so time consuming to do it properly. And it's like with JJ, money is important, but the work must be done properly. That is it. So
she's a longtime professional. So
she's a longtime professional.
That's where you're going to get.
Yeah. I love it. And if I do a book, I always have her do the logo design. She did an incredible, I don't have it in the listing, it's in the video though, but she did an incredible, the logo for the Mermaids, which actually, this is the great thing about the collaboration. So she did a great logo for the Mermaids, but she also sent it to Jim Shooter, who gave some feedback on the final design, which she really liked.
And it's also a good thing to have the former editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics looking over your logo, and giving some pointers. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, I'm like an incredible fan of him and his style of comics.
You and me both. Yeah.
You know that. Well, you know this. Nobody else knows. But my mermaid, I had a mermaid project prior to this that we call "Girl Out of Water," which was sort of like Splash meets Clueless is really what it was. And that is something that Jim worked on with me, Jim Shooter. And I may have to make it part of this campaign somehow, like just his treatment that he wrote for the graphic novel, which this is not that at all. But that was what had Mermaids in my mind, was working with Jim Shooter on that. And Jim Shooter did a couple of other things that I've got to resolve that this year. And look at those other projects, because there's some other unpublished stuff. So I have had like 4 comics careers, but it's really more like 5 or 6, and not everything has seen print. But I love the old school guys, because what they're doing is they're passing on knowledge from the past. So they have so much to contribute to a project like this. If JJ hadn't done the coloring, it would look nice. It would look good. But each level of this is special. In fact, JJ started doing the lettering on this, and I didn't love the lettering. We wound up having somebody else do the lettering, and the lettering ultimately came out great. And sometimes it's just the person for the project, but she didn't have enough time to really do it properly. So she guided Esther on the coloring. Esther has since gotten a couple of great gigs with Marvel. And awesome. It's great work for her. So that's the thing too, with just like hiring other talent, everybody having a chance to we all learn from each other too. We get schooled up. So then then you can then go off and do your own thing, or go off and work with other people, or whatever it might be. And God bless everybody that finds the right fit for them. But continuing to learn and get better at what we do. I'm still learning, of course. I'm sure you are too, Kirk, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's awesome.
The minute you stop learning is when you stop growing. So, I mean, that's something that you want to avoid. So, so let's say that this book exceeds your expectations. What do you have? Do you know what your plans are for the future, or are you kind of waiting to get some feedback from the fans?
It's locked down 100%. I mean, you guys have already supported it so much, even though I screwed up the add-ons. But anybody that wanted to do add-ons, I'm going to make sure you can get free shipping on anything else you wanted to add on. I apologize for that. And thanks for telling me too. But Kirk, there's so much story in the Mermaids. I mean, any one of these paragraphs could be book 2. There's like 30 paragraphs of character development and stuff going on here. It's incredible. But there's definitely.
It's like going to Disney World, it's like you go in and you see something, and then you keep walking for an hour, and every 2 minutes you see something new.
I'm very encouraged with the responses that I get to the Mermaids. People really like Jerry's art. They like the idea. They like the straightforward, like classic look of what David did. My plans are I haven't really figured out what the number is necessarily. I mean, look, my inclination is when you put something out in the world, you almost have an obligation to do more of it, because, you tell a story, like people get attached to those characters. You think of Star Wars, people are very attached to and inspired by the original characters. So their responsibility was to do more with those original characters. They should have had a 2. They should have had a 3, and they never should have gone off continuity and done crazy stuff with it. My plan is the response that we're getting. If today is any indication, my plan is to do the Mermaids book 2. I guess we'll wait a couple of weeks and just see how this campaign launches, and just make sure it's something people want. But I have the writer is ready to go, the artist is ready to go.
Hey, you just cleared over 2,000.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You guys are amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Look at this. Yeah, 30
Yeah.
plus characters, essentially a full comics bullpen for an entire company. It's this could be its own ongoing spun off universe of craziness. But is the thing is not to do a lot. The thing is to do each of them really well, as best as we can. But yeah, David Lorenzo, he's like, yeah, let me know. He's excited. And what we would do with book 2 is I would definitely ask Jerry to come back to do some new art for covers. And I'm sure he would. He's fantastic. And I would definitely have the same interior artist and have him do dynamic panel layouts, because the 6 panel layouts are excellent. But you could do so much more with these dynamic panel layouts. And now that, we know what the format's going to be, these 48-page graphic novels. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to do it. In fact, with College of the Dead, we're already doing that with the new artist, doing these dynamic panel layouts, and they're beautiful. And again, experience. I'm always willing to give new people a chance, try to give them advice, help new people out. When it comes to getting the damn books done, though, I got to see that people have done work before, because I owe it to, I just feel like I owe it to customers. Like, you got to make sure your books are coming out. Your books are coming out on time. You can't make people wait 2 years. 2-3 campaigns a year is 10 years of content. Yeah. Well, we wouldn't even do it like that, Luis, but you're right. But with the way I would do, the Mermaids really focuses on Jonna's story. And it should continue to that one main character. She's going to become increasingly badass. She's right. Like, how Luke Skywalker kind of started off like this little farm boy, whatever, this little innocent, but then by the second movie, he's more badass. That's where Jonna belongs. That's where the story naturally progresses to, and what they set it up to do, and what we would do for book 2. So yeah, I almost think it's impossible. I'm just really appreciative of you guys for backing the campaign. It's wow, $21.95. It's really inspiring. And
what I thought was really cool is that the fact that you did build the world out so thoroughly. It really helps to expand creative ideas with the writers and all of your creative people, because, okay, once you really buy into the idea of you creating this entire world of mermaids, then you then think of other things like, in this world, what would covert assassins look like? In this world, what would weapons look like?
Are we talking about ninja mermaids? Because I like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ninja
mermaids. I'm with ninja mermaids.
Ninja mermaids. What's their level of technology?
There's There's so much story. Like, there's this character, Alexa, and she's got these different masks. She's where you can't really see it too well. There, you'll see it to show the color images. Kirk, there's so much there.
So she's got these different masks, and is it for formal events, or what are they for?
Let me find the character description. Which one is Alexa? Oh my God. Alexa. Okay. Daughter of Vanthi. She's one of the queens. Vanthi's one of the queens. Princess of Palag. Okay, hold on. Get past a certain age, the letters get smaller. Princess of. Wait a minute, I got to go find her again. We also show the legend.
Hold on. Tara Wombat says Ninja Mermaids squirt ink instead of smoke bombs.
Oh. Yeah, because that's the function of the ninja.
Hey, there's a good idea.
All right, I'm gonna
a she mermaid crossover with Billy Tucci.
You know what? I gotta have Tucci on. His new she book just came out. I would definitely be down for that. I gotta talk to the Tucci man about that. There's magic in this world. There's so much going on. We just have to put the books out. We just have to show people what's there, and then have people say, hey, that's a lot of stuff. I almost want to include these descriptions somehow, if we can find a way, as well in the graphic novel because I don't want to, even though it's just gonna be like slugs of text practically, and just like chunks and chunks and chunks of text. There's just so much there. I want people to see it. So the book might wind up getting bigger. We'll see what happens. I don't like the stretch goal stuff where you add pages and things because look, every time you add a page, there's something else that can go wrong with delivering on what you promised.
Correct.
So to me, I know that part of the reason why we're having some success today, you guys are so generous with this campaign, is I did promise and deliver 2 other campaigns, and everybody got their books. And if anybody didn't, I would get a message. They would get it replaced. I have someone who just saw me on Ethan's live stream the other night. And while I was on, he messaged me and said, "Hey, I didn't realize that College of the Dead already came out. And I wanted to let you know I never did get mine." He backed it in April. And so while I was live, I was like, "Oh my God, sorry about that. And we'll take care of that tomorrow." And we just sent it back.
Yeah.
And then,
awesome.
and then just replaced it and got him his tracking number. And so I think it's such a great privilege to be able to show people like, no, look, we're very serious about these comics. We love these comics. And the thing is, with what's happening with comics now, Kirk, you and I haven't even talked about it. But I don't know if you've heard, but DC is just laying off more and more and more people.
Yeah. I've heard about it. I mean, it's a shame the state of mainstream comics right now. It doesn't need to be the way it is. They can do better.
This is a controlled demolition, I feel like.
Yeah, it almost seems that way. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to talk, if you talk about the anyway, never mind that. But it feels like they're being done deliberate. It's not an accident that like, oopsie doopsie, like our comics are terrible. We keep changing the storylines. You don't know who the characters are because they keep changing that. They have all these massive layoffs. They had these 2 women who were temporary co-editor-in-chief after they got rid of Bob Harris. One of them, they just elevated to editor-in-chief, Marie Jarvin. And she was the colorist for Gru.
Okay.
But
I know her work.
Anybody who's ever seen a comic Gru by Sergio Aragonés, you know who she is. Like that's the name. But she, the other woman, they just got rid of her altogether. So she went from being co-editor-in-chief to like, just get out of here. They've laid off tons of people. And Ethan was said on his on a live stream, he's kind of hearing that they're going to stop print comics altogether in June of 2021. They want it stopped. Wow. And but prior to that, they're doing massive layoffs, just massive layoffs at DC. And the thing is, this is something I say as an older person, Kirk, and I tell people this is, you know what? It's our obligation to make sure that comics still come out and that they're still done the right way.
At the end of the day, what contribution have you made to this industry?
Yeah. We loved it. It helped make us who we are.
Yeah.
And if we can do anything about it, we need to leave comics better than we found it. I mean, we need to do that. We need to absolutely need to do that. It doesn't mean that we're all going to be able to do superheroes or that we'll be able to do monthly comics that could be sold on newsstands. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means like, look, when you put these books out, this is paying work. Like in my case, it's paying work for the writer. It's paying work for the letterer. It's paying work for the artist, for the colorist. And it's also getting them into the field. Like Esther, when she did the coloring for me, and she'd also done work for IDW as well. But then she got her break at Marvel, which was better paying work. And she's a mom now. And she's a professional working in the industry,
right? Offering
people like that ladder to get there. But us that know how to publish and know how to create these books and the incredible people that support crowdfunding, we've got to make these books.
Yeah.
We have to do it. That's all I have, Silvar, if you're talking about me. This is just sincerity and the honesty about this. But yeah, we can complain about it. And customers, it's their right to complain. But as men, it's our responsibility to step up and say, okay, this is what we're going to do about it, and this is what we need to do about it. And if fans can help us make comics great and keep comics great, we need to tell them. And then they can make a decision if they think we're doing the job or not, or if they care anymore or not. You know, if they care, we got to get it done. The bottom line, we got to get it done.
Hey,
You know?
Silvar says, Koi Mermaid playing key with the sailors. That's pretty cool. Yeah. He said, if Billy says that he wants to keep she based in Japanese lore, then just make a koi carp like mermaid. Yeah, that would look really cool.
I got to get Billy on.
Yeah, that would look awesome.
I got to get Billy on. And to help promote she. Maybe we can get you on then too. Kirk, if you're available.
Yeah, sure. One really awesome thing that I'm noticing is that, you know, the work in this book is really capturing people's attention, because when someone's saying, hey, is that going to be a poster? Is it going to be a print? Is it going to be a card? You know, that's a real sign of, okay, you're doing something good here. You know, you got something really good going on here.
It's the truth of it is it's going to be what you guys say it needs to be. You know, when Kevin Thompson says, he's a big supporter of COMICSGATE, hey, you need to think about making prints, then you need to think about making prints. Because there are a couple of people, he's one of them, and there are a few other names, Tungsten, there's a few other people that you know, these are the guys that, like, they're heavy supporters of CG, and they can kind of help you. They've seen a lot of campaigns, and they can kind of help you know what is the right kind of thing to do with your project. But yeah, if there's interest, it's important to serve the interest. This is why, like, we had so many of these cool characters, and I got with Stefan, I was like, let's do trading card descriptions for all of these, because I knew he really had, you know, all of the characters in his head really well, and how they related to each of, and I'm like, honestly, it's even a little bit beyond me to keep track of all of it. There's so much. But he also knows a little bit more of where the story is going to go, even probably than I do. But yeah, we wrote all these up, and then I was like, I got to get these into the campaign. There's
the cool thing about the line of comics that you're doing is that you're so hands-on with all of them. You are, you know, you're like, who is it? I forget who's the guy who said, I will sell no wine before it's time.
Yeah.
You will sell
no wine before it's time. We will sell no comic before it's time.
So, you know, you kind of, and any successful company or brand, a lot of times there's a central person who treats the brand like it's their own child. You know, whether it's Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos, you know, it's like, okay, I'm the one that's standing out front and saying, hey, this is what I'm making, and you're going to like it. You know?
Yeah, that's why if I do a book now, it winds up like I'm on there as like, it's Adam posts the Mermaids. It's, you know, which is what Salakrup said. You need to do that. You got to put your name on it.
I know sometimes people may get, you know, it's like, well, what do you do? Are you the artist? Do you draw it? Do you write it? And the answer is, believe it or not, the answer is yes. You do write it.
Yeah.
You do draw it. You do color it, because you're involved in every single aspect. I've watched you as you've gone along. You start with the idea, and then you talk to the writer and say, okay, look. And very intelligent people know when, okay, my skill set is not good enough for this, so I'm going to hire the best that I can. So you put all of your creative input into the initial idea, then the story, then the art, all the way down to the dialogue. You'll look at everything to make sure that it lines up with your creative vision. You know, you're the aim, and everyone else is the gun, the bullet, the ammo, all of that.
That's a good metaphor.
And you aim. You buy the ammo, you buy the gun, and then you aim it, and you allow the weapon to do the work. And so you've got some great weapons, great artists, great writers. Yeah.
And then the other part, the big part of the creative process are the fans, are the people that are buying the comics, that are interested in the stories and the characters, even to the point where it affects the story. It affects the designs. It affects, is there going to be a number 2? It affects, you know, do we do trading cards, you know, and, you know, what do they like? What do they not like? And, you know, they're definitely, it's like listening to the chat. You definitely get that feedback. You get that understanding.
Yeah,
And
Ernest and Julio Gallo. That's it.
okay. Yeah,
Silvar is the man.
No comics before their time. Jamie Andreessen says comics are in vital need of more promoters. We need more people to take the role of what Stan Lee was to Marvel. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love what Ethan Van Sciver does to promote comics and make them interesting and exciting. We all have to kind of be ourselves and be sincere and talk about what we're really interested in. And, it goes wherever it goes. But, with me, I'm going to do, everything I can to get these things to be, absolutely top notch, and then also let them evolve a little bit. That's why, like for what the Mermaids is for book 1, the story is going to be very straightforward. Even though there's so much there, it's very easy to follow what's going on. It's very engaging and interesting, and it makes you want to know more about the characters. We will do wild dynamic panels for book 2 to just kind of let it evolve to the next phase, which I think is a great thing to do right as the Jonna character starts to becoming badass,
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Very
looking
cool.
Good. Pop some, I don't know who your admin is, but have him pop a link to the campaign in the chat.
Oh yeah.
If you are still here.
Well, I'll pop that in. It's just epicmermaids.com. Epicmermaids.com gets you right where it's got to be. You believe someone took themermaidsalready.com?
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Epicmermaids.com. Where we got this? Mermaids.com.
Wow. Since I came on the stream, I think you were at 1,800. You're now at 2,400.
We're at 2,400?
Yeah.
Wow, 2,430. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for the support.
Hey, thank you to everyone who's here.
Really,
thank you.
You're going to get your money's worth. I can promise you that. And I have it scheduled to ship April of 2021. We certainly will be able to ship prior to that too. But partly with me too, I'm committing a big part of my life to focusing on doing comics now, and I planned that throughout this last year, but now very much for 2021. And, for me doing comics, it includes YouTube. Kirk, there was a few months I was away from like a lot of the YouTube streams and just, busy with different things and other stuff and stuff comes up. And then once you get out of practice, everyone is great. I get invited on streams and stuff like that. But once you're out of the flow of it, it's hard to do. Because everyone else is like, they're so good, like being on Ethan's show or, really any of the other shows. Everyone's so practiced.
Hey, sorry to cut you off, but Auric has a message for you. Says
we need more straightforward stories. People are trying too hard to be clever, just making confusing messes.
You got to throw the HTTP in front of the.
Well, can I do www. Oh, Eric, could you paste the link? You're awesome. To the campaign? Because you always do it right. Yeah, thanks for the support, guys.
Hey,
thanks for the help, Eric.
Jamie says that you're the Steve Jobs of comics.
Yeah, I love that.
That's good. That's cool.
I'm taking that. I'm using that.
Right.
I'm using that. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, there we go. There's a link.
Oh, thank you, guys.
If you're in a chat, click the link. Go take a look at it. Even if you're not going to back right now, go and save it so that you can come back to it later.
Yeah, if you can share it on social media, right. You just did me a huge solid, and I appreciate it. Really.
Yeah. Listen, if you're in the chat, and and we appreciate, we're happy for everyone that's here. If you can back it. If you can share it. If you could just click a like on the YouTube stream, click a like on the stream. Every bit of interaction makes a difference, from backing all the way down to sharing and liking. So all of that, believe it or not, makes a huge, huge impact on getting it out there. Because, you guys know as well as we do, there's 100,000 projects out there. And it is really imagine, a guy in the woods chopping through with, a machete trying to get through. There's a lot of stuff out there. So all of that stuff helps. Back it, share it, click like on this stream, all of that stuff. It makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah. It really makes a huge difference. Liking, subscribing, It's fantastic.
Hey,
I've
David.
got-
David says, I'm following and expectant. Can't back out right now. Cool.
David, I appreciate that. And expectant. Expectant? Is he having a baby? He might be. I think David's from Spain. I love people from other countries. So
Okay.
like so much interesting culture.
Hey, Stefan says he'll pick it up.
Oh, Stephen, yeah. Stefan is he's a great supporter. I appreciate him.
Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate a narwhal tusk. Oh, not literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's great to get to know people too when you're doing these streams, Kirk, and then you do a few campaigns and you're like, this guy's really cool. There's somebody who's really, oh, Kirk, you're going to love this. So, you know, Money Delmo Walters, you remember him.
Of course, yeah.
So, after, unfortunately, Sean Connery passed away, I got a message from one of my backers named Joseph, and he said, hey, I picked up your James Bond biography series. Because we did, Switzerland. Thank you, David. David's from Switzerland. So Joseph had picked up all three of the Secret Agents books that we did. These were the biography comics for Personality Comics that you put together. We were just talking about these like a week or 2 weeks ago. And you had found Delmo Walters. This is the only work that he did for us. But he wrote the books and he drew them for Personality Comics. So he did Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and Timothy Dalton. So Joe found them for a deal. And they're hard to find, some of the old biography comics that we did back in the day. And he mailed them to me. I'm like, he's like, would you want to sign these? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, sign them to me. He's the nicest guy. It's such really, awesome. If there's any work that I ever did in the past, if you guys want to hit me up on Twitter, is usually the easiest way to get me at Comics We Love. And I'm happy to sign them and return them, whether it's new stuff or older stuff. But yeah, he sent me a package and included this Titanic comic that I did.
Cool. Awesome.
Titanic, the Unsinkable Dream.
Hey, Adam, Jamie Anderson. And Dressen just wrote something really cool.
I've got a full-time stressful job, but I try and pick up at least 3 or 4 crowdfunding comics. Oh, very cool. To promote regularly on my Twitter and Facebook. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Jamie, thank you for that.
Yeah,
really appreciate that. Yeah, try to relax, Jamie. You know, we all get this stressful stuff at work. We get it nonstop. And comics for me has always been something that's inspired me, and it's always been a lot of fun. I've met some really interesting people, and it also taught me what I was good at and what I wasn't good at. It's just like, it's all right. I'm not good. You know, if you don't have a passion for something, don't worry about being really, really good at it. It's fine for people to be better than you at whatever. That's my take anyway. But so Joseph emailed me these books, and I signed them and returned them. And it really is like it's so fun to be able to sign.
Community, yeah, it's an awesome community. Awesome community.
Kevin says he likes the 1 panel per page art books. Oh, cool. Yeah, Kevin, I'm doing. I don't know if you saw. See, I was talking about Kevin earlier. Hopefully, this meets Kevin's approval. I have so many of these pinups of Jerry's because we did so much work on the designs. There's like 30. There's 30 of them, but I mean, not in any case. There's at least 20 plus of them that we're going to use as full page illustrations in the making of book. It's not as a separate art book. We could do it. The thing is, I didn't want to create another product that I was going to have to charge people like more money for. If just it was part of the making of process, so I felt like it should really be in the making of book. Just that's the right way to promote it. But it didn't stop me from making some covers out of it. But still, I don't know. I just thought, don't make a separate book. It's a little bit much. But maybe I should have. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. This is the thing with the mermaids.
You got 30 days, so you got
Kirk. There's so much mermaid. You know, there's so much. There's so much mermaids material from designs and stuff like that it really doesn't fit in a single book. But I like when I've noticed that people like the variant covers, and I'm cool with variant covers as well. I like them. I think they're cool. I think that, you just don't want to do like 18 variant covers. for one book. Well, unless people want that, but I'm not ready for that yet. I think 4 covers is a lot. But how do I not, like the cover with this mermaid with the daggers, that had to be a cover. Had to be a cover. I asked Jerry to do this. I love what he did. I love, not Jerry, Javier. I love the action. You gave us some feedback on inking her hand, which looked great. And then
turned out really nice.
This one with the Psy, I always loved Electra. That's why I had him do the one probably with Psy. So that had to be a cover. And he did this one, I think, before this one. So that's the thing, is you just start on this stuff and the art comes out so freaking awesome. You love the work so much, like you just keep getting more of it. Yeah, I had made the decision to do Mermaids, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm really, it's really,
I've seen it and I love it. Yeah,
cool money.
I absolutely love it.
You'll see, this is like probably one of the best overall projects that oh, there's a logo. You can see the logo there.
Yeah.
I think it was Jim that said put the tail in for the swish. I think that's, I'd have to ask JJ. Oh, and then he did the little like water drip on the M. This is not just like, they throw a font together and just write the word mermaids.
No, not at all.
Like there's got to be a lot of thought and style and design. And that's JJ. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
If anybody ever wants to reach out for design for JJ Jackson for logos, particularly, I think that's probably what she has the most time for. They could always hit me up. She also did this great iconic mermaid design for the front of the Making of series. Because we had this skull on College of the Dead. Isn't that cool? That silhouetted,
awesome. Yeah, I love it.
Silhouetted piece. Something we could put and she's like, we have to design something we could put the number in so people aren't confused, like which Making of book it is. And I was like, I just love making this stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But why would anybody do anything else? I mean, this is really what you love doing. Like, why do anything else ever?
Well, there's an old saying, find what you love to do for work and you'll never have to work another day in your life.
Never have to work another day in your life. Yeah. I mean, because to sit around and just watch television all day would be a lot less fun than making these comics. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. All right, brother. Listen, I got to head out. I'm glad I was able to jump on.
Yeah. Thanks. It was so fun having you. Thank you for
Mermaids.
All the support, Kirk.
Any of you that are getting on this for the first time, if you have College of the Dead, you're going to love the Mermaids and you're going to love everything else that's after that. So
I appreciate that.
I luckily get to see it all, but trust me, it's worth looking at. It's worth getting. All right, listen,
Kirk, we're gonna be competing with Parody Press again. They're coming back. I'm gonna be throwing down with Don Chin again.
Hey, Don's a man. I love Don.
How crazy is it, Kirk, that like 28 years later or whatever,
I know.
We're going to be relaunching some stuff at the same time? It's insane.
Here we are.
That's what God said. Well, thanks for the time, Kirk. Thanks for hanging with us and basically streaming and stuff. It was great. Yeah,
I'll jump in another time. Take care, brother.
All right, love having you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Now I can pay a little bit more attention to the chat, which is great. Yeah, Kirk is he's a great friend, and his series and his character, Luxura, the ultimate vampire queen, has been around for years. I think he just had a 25-year anniversary. If you like Lady Death, but it's a very cool, iconic vampire queen character. He does digital comics. He does print comics. He's got websites and all sorts of fancy stuff. So he's done crowdfunding too, but he needs to do more crowdfunding. He's going to start doing it, which I'm excited for him. I think he's going to do really, really well. Definitely has a place with me doing stuff anytime. And Don Chin's going to be coming back. Don was publishing Parody Press. I used to publish spoof comics. We used to compete. We would do different parodies. And they outsold us on X-Farce. X-Farce is like their biggest title. I think they sold, I don't know off the top of my head, but a lot of copies, like 80,000 copies or something, which is a lot of copies. Doesn't matter what year it is. So they're going to be doing stuff. He has a sign-up list for that. And you need like xfarce.com or parodypress.com if you can get it done and have it redirect to your sign up to make it a little easier to follow too. Curmudgeon asked, do you still have all the rights to old spoof personality comics? The answer is yes, Curmudgeon. I do have the rights to it, including gorgeous, gorgeous covers that we had done. We don't have all the material physically, like easily accessible, but we have been reworking. We have been working on remastering my favorite stuff from Spoof, including the Adam Hughes covers, and I'll be announcing stuff about that in about a month. I got to focus on the mermaids for right now, but yeah, we're doing some really cool stuff. And I'm really excited to be back in comics and focusing on it so much again. Hey, Past Master Dan, great to see you again, man. Yeah, Curmudgeon knows. We have a Jason. Adam Hughes did 7 covers for Spoof Comics, and they were gorgeous, and it was his highest paying work he ever got. And Kirk, who was on, we spotted Adam at a show at New York City Comic-Con, Great Eastern, run by Fred, I can't recall your last name, Fred, but Great Eastern Conventions. And Adam was there, and I looked at his work, and that's what gave me the idea for Spoof Comics. Adam had a female Captain America that he did, and it was beautiful. It was just in his sketchbook, his idea. And I was like, that's brilliant. We should do female parodies. So we did do female parodies, and I had Kirk offer Adam a lot of money to do covers back then. Nobody was getting that kind of money. And the reason why I did it, Adam was like, "Are you serious?" Kirk was like, "Yeah, that's what we want to pay you." The reason we did it was because I just out of respect to it being Adam's idea in the first place. And he did gorgeous work. Spider Femme, Bat Babe, great stuff. Curmudgeon, man, you're in the game, man. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, Curmudgeon, at Comics We Love. Hembeck did 16 beautiful pages of biographical stories of our characters too. He's a classic cartoonist from Marvel Comics, and he would do the spoofs. He would do like the cartoony parody stuff for Marvel. So it was a coup to be able to get him to do our stuff. But you'll see, we're coloring all his stuff. It's gonna be a beautiful book back out again. Lloyd, thank you so much for the compliment. Of course, I'm not the artist, but we love the compliments. Adam Hughes does have great initials. Any thoughts on changing the title to Epic Mermaids to match the URL? Yeah, some people think it's called Epic Mermaids because I keep saying epicmermaids.com. Nah, it's the mermaids. The logo is done. It's good. People like it. People love it. It's mermaids. What are you going to do? Yeah, I can't change it. It's a good suggestion, though. But it is the Mermaids. That's actually, Jim came up with the title. Salico came up with the title. I was going to call it Mermaids at War, which is very descriptive as to what was going on because there is a war going on in the story. But Salico thought that was something better. Just call it the Mermaids. Fred Hembeck. He's still around, Fred Hembeck. He can letter himself, Curmudgeon. You'll see. You'll see. His lettering was good in my stuff. He's a great guy to work with. This is just, you learn so much working with different people, and new people have a lot to bring to the game, but experienced people, it's a whole other level. We did have a Jason Pearson cover for trying to think of which cover it was. I'm not sure. Cully Hamner did our Green Lantern parody, which was called Green Lanterns. So we did Green Lanterns because you'll have to see. I'll show you when that book comes out. It's very, very cool. Nah, I know you're right, Tara, but it is a good name, Epic Mermaids, but it's got to be the Mermaids. Blood and Scales. That ain't bad. Yeah, so Spoof Comics was a lot of fun to do. It's just that it's so, and one thing I will tell you guys too, like how quality pays. The best work that we ever did, the really good work, it stands out like for decades. People remember it. They think about it. 2099, I thought maybe I think it was X Babes. It's been a while. Yep. Yeah, we did like there was a Marvel did 2099 books when they first did them, like 100 years in the future, whatever the heck it was. And we did some parodies of those, and they were pretty successful. Spider Femme 2099 and X Babes 2099. The logo's done. People like it. What are you gonna do exactly? Hey, Eric, that's kind of like my thing. That's my thing. I'm the Jewish comics publisher. I embrace it. I use it. I like it. Guys, I appreciate your support on the Mermaids. For anybody who may have just come in, I want to play this trailer again because Ted Zagaro did such an amazing job on it. Here it goes. 1 minute. Ouch. Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant work by Ted Zagaro, who does all my trailers and music. And I'll tell you, this is another thing, like why I like making comics on a regular basis. Mer campaign. Because then you start to get these relationships of these really talented people. Ted Zagaro is really, really good at those trailers. Hey, it's Charlie's. So, hey, Smirk the Alien, I haven't seen you in a long time, brother. How's it doing down under, my man? Hope you're doing good, brother. But, you know, once you start working with creative people, then you have a good working relationship. And sometimes it's hard to, not all working relationships work out. Sometimes it's timing, sometimes it's personalities, sometimes it's other opportunities, whatever the heck it is. But then you find people like my working relationship with Ted. Like, Ted's great. He did a fantastic trailer. And I want, when you make a video trailer for your comic, a lot of people will say, I have a lot of respect for advice that John Malin gives on making trailers and campaigns. I have my own YouTube series, Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network. It's just my experience with COMICSGATE and self-publishing for years. And that's on a playlist on my channel if you want to subscribe and check that out. That's my experience. There's like more than 40 videos. I like trailers that could be TV commercials. You know, I don't really like talking about the format of it being a comic. I like the idea of, you know, it just being engaging and being able to forget about it and having like just action and cool music and a lot of good pacing and stuff. And I think what Ted does on these videos is really cinematic. What I want to do when you see my trailer, Lloyd, thanks, is I want to get you interested and have a scope and a sense of what the project's about and get you engaged in it, and then send you right over to the list of tiers. And then hopefully there's a, you know, you back at a certain tier. Like in this case, just looking at the tiers again, we have the featured tier where there's 2 covers. And I did fix the add-ons. Sorry to everybody who backed already. My add-ons weren't set up properly, but they are now. And it's one of the Javier covers and the cover for Jerry with the daggers and the making of book, the 100-page making of book. And then there's the Mermaids dagger cover. But that's the whole thing, is get people interested from the trailer, get them a little excited, and be like, okay, cool, let me back this. So if you want to back right away, hopefully you back the featured tier. Featured is a good option for you guys to have on your campaigns if you're thinking of doing campaigns. Then I like to offer, if you're going to have multiple covers, you offer them individually. You know, people should be able to get the cover they want to get. They shouldn't have to buy all of them. But if they do want to buy them, give them a chance to buy them and save on shipping. It should cost, and to me anyway, do it any way you want to do it, but it doesn't really cost me more money to ship you 2 comics in one box as it costs to ship you one, no matter where you are in the world, really. So I combine them and then keep the shipping like just the same flat shipping. And then same thing with the set, for the Mermaid set. You know, if people want to get even 5 of these books, these particularly internationally will be a little more expensive to ship because of the weight, but that's enough. You're giving me enough money already. It's enough. you're going to spend $125. We're going to keep the shipping, as low as possible, the same as if it was shipping one book, domestic or international. And then the sets, the sets of like, if you want to buy everything, it's expensive, but sometimes people want to just, support at the highest level or something like that. So you give them an option to do that. It's a lot of books. I love making books. I'll always make more books. Making books is a great, it's a great feeling. I love the publishing part of this. That's with me. Like I talk to people and I'm like, look, you got to publish your book. You put your book out. And when you're publishing, your game is you produce your best possible work. You keep your promises, high quality, ship it on time. See if people like it. If they like it, then you do more of it. If they don't like it, that's okay. You deliver what you promise and then come back and do something different next time. College of the Dead, we're working on College of the Dead book 3 now. College of the Dead book 1, when it closed, it had done like $10,600. College of the Dead book 2, graduation day, because we shipped College of the Dead 1 when we were promised, and also because we shipped College of the Dead 1, we let people receive it and get the thing before we offered College of the Dead book 2. And it's a sensible thing to do. Not everybody does it that way, but that's the way I like to do it because I want people to know and like, okay, we promised it to you, we delivered it, now you have it. And then we offer something else. The Mermaids I was going to launch sooner. I didn't get around to it. But, now I can even show people like, hey, I have a printed prototype of the Mermaids. We have actual, we're in the process. We've got the production done. So people can have kind of confidence that they're going to get what they promised. Aged Boomer loves the John and Idris cover. Me too. The coloring look at the coloring on it. The design. They're really, these artists are so talented. It's a privilege to be able to publish their work. I kind of wind up buying the originals on these things, and I don't feel like I buy the originals with the intention of offering them on the campaign, but I kind of don't feel like I can part with them because they're too nice. And I don't know, money is just money. I mean, I appreciate the support, but Shadowhawk, thank you. Shadowhawk's backing a lot of projects. Everybody who's supporting CG, you support the people that are passionate about the books. It helps. There are a lot of people who are known for already delivering their projects. There are some people that are struggling with delivering their first projects. Sometimes it's because it's their first project, and it's good that you have patience with them. It's good that they communicate with you. But with me, I'm trying to be really cautious. Fish merchant. Absolutely true. Lady fish merchant. The only thing fishy about this campaign is the mermaids. Okay. Oh, yes. That's pretty funny. But I like to try to have the books done before I offer them. And it's not a usual or typical thing. But in my case, this way I know I can ship on time. And then I can do as many books as I want to do, as long as I show you guys that when I promise I'm going to deliver them, I do. And I also that I deliver them on time. And then you like them when you get them. The customers are the boss in COMICSGATE. And that's the way it ought to be. And the feedback is good too. You guys give really great feedback. And that's why too, like I'm really careful about who I work with when I make these comics. And everything has to really be done properly and done right, because I will be taught, like a lot of you guys have backed my prior campaign. So if I don't deliver the right thing, if you guys don't understand that this is the best we can do and it's a good book, you lose that person as a customer. Repeat business is everything in COMICSGATE. If we, and that's why also, like, I think that backers are very understanding. And I think we're lucky that when someone in COMICSGATE promises a book and then they're late on shipping it, you guys don't take it out on the rest of the COMICSGATE guys. But I think if a lot of that happened, or if some of the books never shipped, I think we'd have a problem, ultimately, because you guys would be like, hey, you guys are fun on YouTube, but look, you got to ship the books. But you guys, as backers, you've been so supportive. And you say, Fenrir Fire, I've never had a problem with waiting as long as it's for legit reasons. Mishandling money, not doing the work, it's another story. Yeah, I mean, the thing is this, Fenrir, is it's good to be understanding of people. The bottom line is, though, the only way things continue is if people make promises and they keep the promises, And the other thing too, is somebody in CG, if they're having a problem, the backers are understanding, but we'll also help each other. I've given my friends in CG, I've given them copies of contracts for working with hiring artists or writers. I've shared my contracts with them. I've given them advice on printing, on pricing, on number of pages. If I see somebody doing something that I think is going to hurt them, but they don't know that yet because they're inexperienced, I'll try to reach out and help them. You never really tell people what to do, but I really do try to give the best advice I can and explain why. And we try to all help each other out. I will tell you, the thing that I like most about COMICSGATE is being able to make comics, and just equal to that is being able to work with other amazing creative people. And it's like a family, really. It's fantastic. I want to see beautiful people doing amazing things, Grant Morrison. I like that. When you're making comics, yes. Well, beautiful people, that includes me, obviously. Cool. Yeah, you can tell who's really into it and who's not. You can see the loyalty and the passion, and who's not. And also, like, when people first start in COMICSGATE, they're not comfortable like talking about stuff from their heart and like what they're passionate about and what they really believe in and stuff. Yeah, Kevin, you got your hobby back. And what's more is, as I said before, you're known, Kevin. We know who you are. The creators know who you are. And that's important. We know if you started to see things weren't right and you made comments like it, and a few backers start to make comments, we really know that, like, we're not going to be keeping doing this business, if people who are regulars in CG don't think we're doing it right. We're not going to be able to keep doing what we want to do. So we keep our ears open and we listen to what people are saying, because, one person leaves CG, two people leave CG, backers and stuff, not happy. It's a big deal. I like seeing beautiful mermaids doing amazing things. I do like beautiful mermaids. I'm really impressed. And, you guys I've gotten so much backing on this. 2630 is a lot for this campaign right away like this. This is much more than we did on day one, right away on College of the Dead graduation day. I think it took maybe 48 hours to get to that point. And we've only been at this for like 2 hours or so. So I can't thank you guys enough. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, now the feedback says it all. If people like it, you got to do more of it. Hail COMICSGATE, indeed. Paul, good to see you. Congrats on launch. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Thank you guys for sharing the campaign. Thanks for backing the campaign. I'm really excited about it. I got to tell you, it's funny because I put this off and I almost talked myself into, hey, it's Justin. Hey, Justin. I almost talked myself into launching this in January. It's like, well, I can kind of put it. I'm like, no. I can't wait anymore on this project. I wanted to do this a couple months ago. And I just got sidetracked. And then I started working on the project after this. And then the other thing that sidetracked me big time was the College of the Dead artist wasn't able to do College of the Dead book 3. So then I had to find a new College of the Dead artist. And he recommended somebody who was a really nice guy, but I don't know. It just didn't work out. And sometimes those relationships don't work out. So we had to find a new artist, which I just found a couple of weeks ago. And then we're redesigning the entire book because it was originally going to be a 6-panel page book, College of the Dead 3. And now, oh, Charlie's okay. Cool. I'd love to. And now finally we've got it started for College. But yeah, that's that's another reason why, like, for me, I like doing these books in advance, man, because then you're able to make sure you can deliver it. You can have it, when you need it. Really important. My buddy Charlie's. Okay. Charlie's London. doing a bio comic. Hopefully we got Charlie rocking on in. I sent Charlie the link. She's great people. Passionate about her project. Charlie's has, I've done biography comics. We did, I think, 2 authorized biography comics, Star Trek comics. We worked with Chekhov, Walter Koenig. He worked with us on his biography comic. And we worked with Dr. McCoy, DeForest Kelly. He worked with us on the comic too. He gave us feedback on the script. And Walter Koenig was he was like too involved. He just wanted to be all over the darn thing. So yeah, he got very involved. He was cool. Oh, we got a nice complimentary letter from Kim Basinger on her biography comic we did. But anyways, yeah, Charlie's is doing an authorized Charlie Chaplin book. Charlie Chaplin biographical book with the estate. It's pretty amazing. Coach and Lunacies has something interesting to say. I can tell. Congratulations to me and Eddie Winkler, the Sovereign Wolf. Yeah, Sovereign Wolf launches today too. That book has been around a really long time. I hope he does very well. He's really, really cool. He's a good guy. Yeah, Sovereign Wolf is out. And there's another book. I think Nasser's doing a book today that's coming out. DeForest Kelly was a great guy. He really was. He sent us a really nice signed couple of autograph pictures that I have stored away somewhere, thanking us too. And very good people. We probably could have gotten with Shatner. We probably should while he's still available to do it, while he's still floating around. But we'd have to do another whole book. I've done about like 3 or 4 different William Shatner biography comics. Anything with his name on it always sold, always made money. He was good. Leonard Nimoy we never got to work with, and he's gone now, so it's too late. Rainbow Brood is next Sunday. Get ready for that. Also, Mike Miller, he has a campaign running now. Lone Star 3, which he's calling. I don't know what he's calling it. I forgot, but I know it's the 3rd Lone Star. Yeah, hey, it's exciting to be able to do these new books and then to be able to do the sequel. And if you're doing books, I saw someone else giving this advice. I really like this advice. You really want to think about, like, all right, if you're going to work on developing a project, is that a project you think you could live with for the next 10 years? You know, especially if you're doing all the work yourself. Is that a project that you could see yourself like really being invested and immersed in that world for, you know, for the foreseeable future? Because once you start, it really makes sense to continue. It makes, you know, a lot of sense that, like, all right, you've built all of this, you've put all of this into this one thing. You should be doing, you know, another one if people like it and it's successful. That's something to think about. Oh, there it is. Lone Star Mind of the Monster. I don't know if it's, I don't know what the story is with the Mind of the Monster. Maybe I should have Mike come on and tell me. You know, Mike was on with Adam Friended and Dale the other day. I love Dale. And Adam Friended is a great guy too. We have so many great people in COMICSGATE. Legkick has met George Takei, Nichelle Nichols, and Shatner and Nimoy from the old crew. We did a Michelle Nichols. She passed away, I think, Nichelle Nichols. Unfortunately. We did do a Nichelle Nichols comic. We did a biography comic on every conceivable Star Trek character. None of the Star Wars. We never got to it. But we did the Star Trek from the original crew and from the next generation crew. Our Star Trek series is called Original Crew, and then New Crew. Was it? Yeah, New Crew was the other series. They weren't fantastic. They were okay. But yeah, oh my God, we did a lot of those biography comics. She's still around, Nichelle Nichols? All right. Then she's a possibility. Trevor, mumble of the moron. But Trevor is a spicy guy. He's a spicy guy. I like Trevor. A good artist. Trevor, Trevor's working with somebody on a comic now too. I don't know how much they're talking about it, but I know he's doing the art on something good. All right. Charlie says device not connected. But I don't think that's related to me. Oh, there it is. Hey, Charlie's. She's 87. Good Lord.
Hey, how you doing? Adam, you never believe this. I thought, oh, I'll pop on because we was waiting for our Chinese takeaway to be delivered. It's just
came in.
up now.
Okay, no problem.
So what I'm going to do is, if it's all right, because I'm guessing you'll be going for a little bit of time, I'm going to come back on after I've eaten. Give you some.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to try and hang in there. And if not, then we're going to stream again. I know you wanted to stream later, so we'll see what's cooking.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry about this, but I thought it was the polite thing to do to come in and actually tell you.
It's lovely. No, Charlie's is not 87. Nichelle Nichols is 87. All right, Charlie's, go eat. Enjoy.
I will speak to you soon. See you in a bit.
Thank you, my dear.
Bye.
Charlie's is having Chinese food now. When the whole pandemic stuff started up, I didn't have Chinese food for a long time, and I still haven't had it since the pandemic. I don't know how you guys feel about Chinese food. My take is it's good, but I don't know. I'm still kind of like not happy about this whole pandemic thing. Maybe over time. Vinny Shadow the Kraken book will be launching soon. Yeah, Vinny's got an email list up. Damn you, Post. Darn you, Post. Oh, congrats on being funded. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, this book is completely done. The Mermaids is completely done. And all we have to do is I have to just start JJ on the book design layout, which will just we'll tinker around with it, but it'll just take a couple weeks to get done. It'll be done before the campaign is over. All the art is done. The lettering is done. The production's done. Such a great feeling. Even all the content for the making of the Mermaids, the 100-page book with the full script and all the layouts and 20 plus designs from Jerry Gertrudia, the cover artist for the Mermaids, also done and just ready to go, ready to ship. And 30 plus character descriptions of the whole world of the Mermaids. You can read this. You don't have to wait on the book. I put it into the campaign listing, and you'll see there's an immense amount of story, and it's compelling. It's very, very interesting. This is the great thing about collaborating with other people is like, you start somewhere and you kind of know where you want to go with it, but then it really does take on a life of its own. And everybody is kind of like passionately and carefully doing their part of it. And your collaboration just becomes something that, you haven't even initially thought of, and something great. Something great. Because look, when you have a team of people and they're working on stuff, nobody wants to ruin it. Nobody wants to be the one to do like a bad job on the lettering. The odds of this book not having really good lettering are absolutely like 100%. It's going to have it has good lettering. It's every aspect of it is carefully done and is well done. Nobody was going to be the one to step out and not do a great job on it. And now what's so cool is having a creative team to be able to go back to do book 2. I know who the writer is. I know who the letterer will be. I know who the artist is, and he's psyched to do another one, David Lorenzo. And we will do dynamic page layouts. This book is going to have a little extra width to it. It's going to be Golden Age width with an extra 1/2 inch, just because we can do the panels bigger that way, which will be fun in terms of the overall design. So we're really, really psyched about doing more of them. What does Eric say about broccoli? I have either broccoli with beef or orange chicken at least once a week. Yeah, I get into those routines too. If I start on stuff, a lot of times I just keep going. If anybody else wants to mention their favorite Chinese food, we'd love to hear it. Silvar orders Chinese every 2 weeks. His local restaurants aren't responsible for the CCP flu. To the extent that yeah, I'm not trying to punish anybody. It's sort of associated with it for me. Here you go, an excuse to buy some Golden Age comic covers. Vinny does do nice work. He does nice, really nice paintings. And there's one he did of Creature of the Black Lagoon where the sky just looks amazing. Why no vegetables? What? No vegetables? That's my friend Eric. And Eric knows my secret that I always order my Chinese food without vegetables. Don't feel like you need to have vegetables ever. You know, even if people tell you should have it. In fact, Antonio Bryce is doing a new book with Dame Drops, and there's an issue about vegetables on hamburgers. And I want to leave it there. If you want to find my Twitter, I retweeted a free preview that he had. And I think you can find out about his the vegetable issue related there. Fraud79 says, hail chat, hail postman. Got to check out the campaign when I get home. Congrats on the launch. Thank you, Fraud. Thank you so much. If one of the mods can share the link as well, because apparently when I share it, it just doesn't go through. That's okay. Doesn't cost anything. Paul Gibb, hail to Paul, hail to all. Are there a border stretch goal? No, the borders. Is there a border stretch goal? No, I've gone ahead. I've stretched the width of the whole book by 1/2 inch because I figured, hey, an extra 1/2 inch never hurts, so to speak. Oh, the extra 1/2 inch is cool because it'll let us make the panels like, I don't know, 25 or 30% bigger or something like that. It's called a quarto format. JJ knows all this stuff. I'm no super design expert. That's why I have JJ do everything. Aged Boomer likes grilled vegetables. You expect that from somebody named Aged Boomer. Maybe Aged Groomer. You know what this guy's up to. Could be. Yeah, Paul, we got that covered. It's already built in. It's not even a stretch goal. Thick and gritty gutters. Thick and girthy gutters. Yep, that's how we like it. We like big gutters and we will not lie. I can't pronounce that name, but it says night at the end. Be quick, Adam. She's 87. Oh, yes. We were talking about Nichelle Nichols earlier. Yeah, comics are great. After this, I have another comic planned. We're actually completing the production on it now. And it's a remake from Spoof Comics, remastered. I've been working on it for a couple of years. Everything takes years. And I've been working on it for a while, but we recolored a lot of the cool interiors of some of the books, and it's going to be the stuff that's my favorite stuff, and it's going to look fantastic. Very fun stuff. And Don Shin is doing new comics from Parody Press. He did parody comics back in the day, years and years and years ago. So that was cool, and it was cool to see him do that again. Amazingly, when I first did this campaign, I added the add-ons, and even though I've done this before, like twice, I didn't have the add-ons on the campaigns. So now the add-ons are attached to the campaigns. So anything that you guys get that's an add-on, there will be free shipping on because it'll be already part of your existing order. So I will make sure for anybody that wasn't able to do free shipping add-ons that I send them an email and make sure they can get anything with free shipping that they like attached to the order. To me, I think that if you back something and then you come back even a couple weeks later and you want to add something to the order, I think you should have free shipping on it because it's going to ship as part of your order anyway. So to the extent possible, not everybody can manage it. I did it with College of the Dead graduation day. It wasn't that bad. You know, it really wasn't. So I was able to add them on. Way I added them on and bing, bang, boom. We're able to ship those suckers out and not have to charge people to pay shipping twice because shipping is expensive. It's just kind of a hassle with tracking everything where it's supposed to be, but it's not that hard. It's really not that bad. Okay, how much longer I'm going to stream from your victim's home before you're just getting caught? Mortal 5. That is a good question. And if I were to answer that, I might give away my location. College of the Dead is still in demand. Get them before the zombies eat them all. Well said, Bass Marine. Yes, College of the Dead is still in demand, and it ships immediately because they're in stock. Why shouldn't they ship immediately? I like keeping things in demand. When I do the third College of the Dead book, then I'll take down the College of the Dead graduation day listing. But until that time, I think it's good to have it up because people want the book, they can get it. I also added, there's too many covers to all offer every version of every add-on and all that other stuff for College of the Dead on top of the Mermaids, but you can get a couple of the College of the Dead books. There's a set that is College of the Dead book 1 and book 2 and add that onto the Mermaids campaign. So it's not extra free shipping. Oh yeah. I remember that. You got College of the Dead. Yeah, you'll see. College of the Dead 3 is going to be very cool too. All these books are going to be really good. Man, you guys have made it so that us people that are passionate about making comics can really focus our energy on making comics and making new comics. And I can't thank you enough. I know everybody else appreciates it a lot too. Okay. Jamie Andreessen, who's been really, really helpful today. Thank you, sir. You know what? I should make you a mod if I haven't already. Jimmy Andreessen, please have one of the mermaids in the depths of battle yell, "I'll make fish food out of you." Well, they're all fish food. Technically, they're all fish food. Jimmy Andreessen, you are about to become a mod, which means you can share links, which is incredibly helpful. Eric, thank you for helping too. And yes, sign up for the email list for X-Farce for Don Chin. I got to get Don on, and he and I have to talk about old times and new times. Don is the creator of Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters, which he was originally going to be working on a crossover with Cyberfrog for, but there was something that happened with Dynamite Comics, and then ultimately Dynamite has the rights to it now, so it just got sidetracked. Adam posts Epic the Mermaids. There you go. Yeah, I should change it to Epic Mermaids. Yeah, so Don is back in the game. You know, Don goes back to the same years as Brian Pulido with doing Lady Death. So Don knows his stuff. Don knows how to make a book, knows how to ship a book. So Don, is going to be fun having you back in comics again. Kirk is in comics. Kirk was from back in the day. Yeah, crowdfunding is where it's at now. The regular comic stores. DC Comics, DC Comics is there'll always be some DC Comics or whatnot, but they're laying off people like crazy. And what I think is going to happen with DC Comics is they're right now figuring out how to sell Warner Media. So AT&T bought DirecTV for what wound up being about $64 billion or something. Including how much money they assumed in debt. It's like buying a mortgage on a house. And they bought for $105 billion Warner Media, which included DC Comics. Hey, it's RT Bear. Great to see you, Art. Art, I don't know if you had any time to come in, but Art, I love Art. Art and I have a lot of fun conversations together. Art has been doing comics for a long time, and Art has a new... Well, Art, to be honest, like everyone else, I think I kind of don't know what you're working on right now. It's funny because I was on a stream with Ethan a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about RT Bear. We're like, yeah, take a look at RT Bears. We're like, wait, we don't really know what Art has going on right now. Art, I'm going to send you the link if you have time. Art's a lot of fun. Art also has a great YouTube channel. You can subscribe to Art's YouTube channel. Just put in RT Bear and bing, bang, boom. You'll get Art's YouTube channel. But yeah, he's a lot of fun. Art's a lot of fun. COMICSGATE's a lot of fun. Better than ever. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the guys in it. I'm going to really try and make sure I'm streaming every day, if not on my channel, on somebody else's. We're certainly going to talk about lots of exciting mermaids. But there's a lot going on in comics. But I don't know if you guys had heard this or not. So what AT&T's plan was just like, well, why don't we just buy a bunch of media companies? We have money. We can borrow money. Let's just buy a bunch of media companies. So they spent like $170 billion. Like they could have taken over a country for that. So they buy DirecTV. Now, recently, a couple months ago, it was announced that, all right, DirecTV is doing really badly. They're going to have to sell it. They think they're going to lose $50 billion just on the sale of DirecTV. That's bad. You know, that's bad. They somehow didn't see that the technology was changing on them. So they're trying to sell it. So they're going to lose $50 billion on that. They've had incredible layoffs at Warner Media. So they're laying people off Warner Media. And now what they've talked about with Warner Media basically is like in the next year and a half or 2 years, hopefully they'll be able to sell it. You know, hopefully they'll be able to get some money out of it. So they've got to make it look like it's not a bad business. But my God, that is just a rough business. Yeah, exactly, Curmudgeon. Thanks for reminding me. The last few weeks, they've let it be known that they're looking to sell CNN. CNN, they can actually make some money on because of the ratings. No, because Washington Post, like CNN, these are for influence. Washington Post was purchased for influence. It's a lobbying unit for Amazon. It's owned by Jeff Bezos. So what's happening? They're going to sell CNN. Supposedly Amazon's looking at it because, even though CNN's not making money, it's got a lot of influence, a lot of political influence. So you can sell something like CNN and actually get some cash out of it. And even though AT&T probably would just kind of like to hang on to it, they can't afford to just hang on to it. They need to raise billions of dollars. So what are they going to get for AT&T? What are they going to get for CNN? I haven't really seen them kick around numbers, but I would expect it to be sold. And they've been saying that Jeff Zucker, who runs CNN, is going to leave CNN anyway after I think the election is resolved, which hopefully will get resolved soon. But yeah, curmudgeon, that was a great reminder. Absolutely a great reminder. Man, I'll tell you, it's very weird. Once they stop making comics just for the comics, once they start like, hey, we can turn this into a TV show, we can make this into a movie, we can make toys, and like all sorts of merchandising, they really hollowed it out. It was really, it's been ridiculous. Like all the editorial control has gone. The only people that are making good comics are people that really, really care about comics. But it's like there's no management team that really cares about comics anymore. Individual creators, absolutely. Anybody buying CNN is going to lose money, but they're going to gain influence. So Amazon, it's nothing for them. They could buy it in a second, or maybe they'll buy it through Washington Post. Probably not. Who knows what they'll do? But yeah, Ethan has said that he's heard that as soon as June 2021. DC will stop making comics. If you guys don't subscribe to Ethan Van Sciver's channel, definitely subscribe to it. He's got to do these series of stories again. And every time that Ethan does stories based on DC Comics and the comics business, Ethan worked at DC for like 20 years or something. So he really knows the inside of DC Comics. He knows some of the people, and people tell him stuff. So when he gives you a take on what's going on at DC Comics, it's an excellent take. It's very, very thoughtful. But he's been doing these short videos again, talking about industry business and stuff like that. And they're excellent. They're very entertaining, and good information. And what's interesting is like Cosmic Book News and who's other dudes, Bleeding Fool. Like they'll do articles bounding into comics too. We'll do articles based on Ethan's videos. So it's like there's actually a lot going on when you follow Ethan. He's usually breaking some news. I like doing business stories about those subjects too. When I see stuff that I feel like, hey, thanks, Arik, for doing that. I like doing those kind of books, those kind of stories as well with videos when I feel like I have something to add and my head is in the right space for it. And I give a different perspective as a business guy and knowing comics as well. I've never worked for any of those companies, but I know what's going on with them in terms of some of the finance side and some of the publishing side when it's about business. Adam Post, okay, Fraud 79 says zombies gore aren't my thing, but eye candy more. All right, you let me. I love eye candy. Consider me back. All right, thanks, man. Congrats to the whole APMG team. That's Adam Post Media Group. That's my company. And I didn't catch if you fixed the margin, just mildly busting chops. Yes, the way we didn't fix the way the margins are a little different this time is the book's going to be 1/2 inch wider. So it's going to be 7.5 inches. So it's like a golden age width, like golden age size. So we'll be able to make the panels like 30% bigger, make them bigger on the page. I don't know. It's just interesting. We'll just try it differently. We'll see how people like it. I think they'll like it a lot. And also it fits with all the other comics. You can ship all the other comics together still. It's going to look very, very cool. I'm really excited about this Mermaids comic. It's funny because it's not like I grew up loving mermaids. It's just I just got into the project, and that it's such a perfect fit to take mermaids and put them all in their own like royal world. And then I hired the right writers to collaborate with so that we've got like a very cool story and a well-developed world. And it focuses all on the main point of view is from this character, Jana. And you get to see her her whole character evolution, sort of like a Star Wars story of where she starts off like an average person, like a boring person, and then she decides to pursue something and she's passionate about it. That gets her into all sorts of trouble, and then she has to make a decision about, is she going to fight on in life and go further, or is she going to give up? And she decides not to give up. And so we get to see her become more and more badass over time as she takes on challenges. And she's after Queen Leaf, who is not a good person. So that's where the rest of the story kind of evolves to. And that's basically her evolution is book one. Then book two, we would see her get to be badass. And I have to see if people like it, if people want a book two. But I really appreciate the backing and the support. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sharing it as well. 2,900? That is a lot for this project. I really appreciate it, guys. I really, really appreciate the support. But at this rate, I mean, I have to start on a book two. I'm going to give it a few days. I'll at least promise myself, Adam, be patient. Give it a few days. Control yourself. But I might not be able to control myself. So very likely there'll be a book two. And it'll be about how badass this new character is. And the panel layouts on book two are going to be more dynamic because all the new work that I'm doing, all the new projects I'm doing, we're doing dynamic panel layouts. College of the Dead Spring Break is underway. And we originally designed that as a 6-panel per page book. And that's being completely relayed out now again by our new artist. Luciano is phenomenal. He's a published artist. He's very good. And we're approving all his thumbnails and giving him feedback. So, yeah, we're going to make that a great looking book. And these making of books, I'm going to try and do these as long as it's reasonable, as long as we have a good quality product and people want them. The making of books, which you can get as an add-on if you want to just like buy one cover and just one add-on book. This is a 100-page book, and it's the full script and all the layouts that we approved from the artist who did the interiors, David. And it just shows you how the whole book came together. It's incredibly educational. And you can also see some of the choices that the artist made in layouts because we give the artist direction. It's called a full script method. We give him direction, but we don't tie his hands. If he's got a better way to do it, he just shows us that when he does a layout. And usually we can approve that, which keeps the process organic, but not sloppy. So we know we're going to get something good, but it's not just going to like look good. It's going to look good and still respect storytelling, which is it's very important in sequential art. But also in the book, I went nuts because Jerry's I only wanted to do 5 or 6 character designs, but each of these were really our base character designs. And they were so interesting and so well done. I kept coming with up with new ideas for new characters, and Jerry did these freaking gorgeous characters. So we've done, he did more than 30 of them. At least 20, 25 of them are appropriate to share. Some of them are like different versions of things that we didn't go with. But a good 25 of them are appropriate for the book. There's another shot of Jana, it's a mermaid. There's so much to it. So all of those designs that are the basis of what we use for covers. So these designs are as finished as the cover was before we started coloring on it. So they're really very well detailed. They're very well done. And they're going to be as part of the making of the Mermaids book as well. So that there isn't like a special pinup book you have to buy. It's going to be part of the making of the Mermaids, which will be at least 100 pages. Really, really happy to do these making of books. I've gotten really good feedback on it. And until I see a lot of other people do it, and it's not special or it's like not necessary, I'm going to keep doing them. I think it's serving a really necessary part of helping to give people a reference for how comics are made and how the comic actually comes together, and where you can kind of understand everybody's contributions to the process. I think it's very helpful. I think it's very educational. Eric says, I like the ones with companion animals. The dolphin shepherd. Yeah, she's cool. There's just so much stuff there, man. You're going to like this book a lot. Cards look insane. Well, keep in mind, Justin, they're not trading cards. Those are going to be pinups inside the book. I may have to do trading cards because a lot of people are asking for them. Thanks for the congratulations, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for your support, guys, and your well wishes and everything. You guys are fantastic. Don is finding artists. If anybody needs an artist, Curmudgeon is an artist, by the way. I haven't seen his work, but he seems like a great guy. Are these lady... Okay, Adam posts with all these lady mermaids, the right margins definitely count. Absolutely. You don't want any marginal girls in this. You want hot girls. What about tarot size cards? Yeah, that was another idea to do tarot cards. Another one was to do playing cards. This is the thing is when the art is good and the design is good, you can do just about anything with them. But when I do stuff, I want to make sure it's, first of all, that we can deliver whatever we promise. So I'm interested in doing prints, but I have to be very careful. Maybe trading card stretch goals, leg kick, maybe trading card goals. I haven't done stretch goals in any of my campaigns yet because I'm just being very cautious. It's really funny. I'm being like excessively cautious, but the thing is I've made mistakes before. So, it's showed up in my work and I don't want anything to come out or like, I don't want anything late. I don't want anything late by a week or a month. I don't want to have to explain myself as to like why I did this wrong or that wrong. I want to make sure that whatever I promise, I can deliver. So I have a good printer for trading cards. And I've seen their work and a couple of our guys have used them before. And I have very good writing for trading cards because that's why the original 30 plus character descriptions came in. So those might be good for trading cards. I got to see. The thing is, I was kind of going back and forth about some of that stuff. And I'm like, look, I got to get this campaign out already. Yeah, you have to learn. You got to learn from the past. So you got to keep it. You got to be careful. Paul Gibb asked, why is I hope it was a fixed goal, not a flexible goal, but why was the goal so low? The goal is low is because basically it's good for the algorithm. So if you know you're going to make the book kind of no matter what, and that's me, I'm going to make the book no matter what. It's best to just go for the lowest goal because then as you're accomplishing sales and as you're having success, so I'm almost at 3,000, it'll be 6 times 600%. So when you have a multiple and it's successful, it's good for the algorithm. So Indiegogo will promote it a little bit. And also people should know that the campaign is going to happen. So if they look at my campaign, and this is a mistake I made in my first campaign, College of the Dead, my original prequel book, that book, I had a fixed goal of something like $5,000 or flexible of $5,000. And the thing is, when people were looking at the campaign, one of the things you don't want people to have to think about is, oh, are you going to be able to get your goal? Because if you have a flexible goal on Indiegogo and it doesn't get reached, you get the money, but people may not get their books. So they have to think twice about backing a flexible campaign. Yeah. Paul, it's a good question. It applies to a lot of people. If you have even if I have a flexible goal, let's say that was $5,000, people have to look and start thinking like, oh, he hasn't hit $5,000 yet. Is he going to ship this book? Is it going to get done? Or am I going to just back it and then not get anything? So you don't want people to have to second guess that. You want them to be able to look at the project, be like, oh, this thing is funded. It's going to get done. But you have to pick a goal that's realistic for you. But what I will say is, if you're going to do a campaign, pick a goal that's reasonable, that'll cover your costs. But if you find yourself with a goal that's higher than $3,000 and you haven't done any campaigns yet, it's too high. If it's more than $3,000, it's really going to work against you because people don't know you that well yet. So it's going to be hard to get support for something like that. Another thing that Indiegogo does that's a huge help is they let you do an email sign-up list. Now, I did an email sign up list for College of the Dead graduation day. I didn't for the first campaign. And for College of the Dead graduation day, we got signups. Not a lot, but enough that we could like have people that we could call to action and let them know we were doing the campaign. And then by the time I shipped that book, and then a few weeks after I shipped that book, I started the email list for the Mermaids. The Mermaids has gone almost 6 months. I didn't plan on taking that long to offer it, but life can't in the way. So I did the Mermaids. With the Mermaids, we had a bigger sign up list. It was almost 3 times the size, but still less than 500 names. And what you can expect on a campaign, there's no guarantees, but on average, you can't do a campaign. Don't do a campaign with less than 100 signups, because if you have less than 100 people on an email list, it means you're probably not going to do more than 10,000 on that campaign. And 10,000 is a reasonable number, even for a first campaign. It's actually quite good. But if you can't get people to sign up to your list, you're not going to get people to back your project. This is, by the way, Fraud, this is not a dumb question. And now that I've been on for a while, we've talked about the Mermaids. We've gone over the tiers. We've cried together. We've laughed together. It is a good time. If anybody has any questions about this, about doing these campaigns, let's talk about something different. So Fraud asks, did everyone get a launch email when this started? Now, the answer is yes, but it's not because, the way that Indiegogo does their email lists are, the way that Indiegogo does, yeah, Ken got it. Awesome. The way that Indiegogo does the email list is they do the signups. So they give you a page where you can sign up, but miraculously, they do not email those people for you. That is not what they do not do it. I thought they did. So I launched College of the Dead graduation day. Nobody got the emails, excuse me, because I collected the list, but I didn't. I thought they sent it for you. So they didn't do that. So you have to have a separate email service. Now there's MailChimp. There's also Constant Contact. There are a few different services. You export. Thanks, Trevor. Trevor definitely got it. Okay. So, yeah, I put diamonds in the subject line. It's cute. So, you export the email list to a list, and then you have to import it into an email service like MailChimp or Constant Contact. MailChimp doesn't like, they've been starting to do a little funny things with editing conservatives lately. They've been, there's some of that going on, but it's how I had it set up. It worked for today. It's a free service as long as you have a list that's less than 1,000 names, I think. But there's also Constant Contact. There's a few other services like that. But you have to send your emails yourself. So I set up an email so that when I was with you guys, I could launch the campaign and then click the button send on a preset email to those people that signed up for the list. And then everybody would have gotten the email list and they could jump on the campaign if they were able to, which is great. So yeah, that's a good question. But the email list is good. It's good you can get to, if people want to unsubscribe, they can unsubscribe. There's no pressure on them. But it's very helpful to let people know the campaign's coming out. Yeah, it's important. I have a video series called Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network. It's on a playlist, and that's basically a lot of my experience of what I've learned working with publishing COMICSGATE comics and also publishing comics before COMICSGATE. So you don't have to listen to all of them. There's like more than 40 of those videos, but they're obviously each different subjects. And if anything interests you, I don't know, Eric, if I'll try and find the playlist and paste it into the channel, because it could be helpful to me. I had a lot of people that were like brand new in comics tell me that it's been helpful for them. But I also had people that are very experienced that, are now coming into COMICSGATE, that are names in COMICSGATE and are going to be names that have found this stuff to be useful. And I love sharing the information because it's so, when you know how to do this stuff from experience, you just don't want to see anybody make a mistake that costs them time and money, or God forbid, even prevents them from, being able to put their book out. And the main thing is, yeah, that's the playlist for Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network. Yeah, it's not that you really want to know this stuff in advance. For example, 48-page full color is an ideal format, $25 price point. Don't try to make it 64 pages and charge $35 for it. Don't do that. Don't make it 100 pages and $25. If you're new, I'm saying don't do that. Why? Because just because you add more pages, it doesn't mean you're going to sell more copies. You know, you have to understand what people's expectations are, and you have to meet those expectations. Yeah, I just published the link. Secrets of the CG Network, Silvar. It's in there, brother. Yeah. It should be in the description, I think. It might not be, but I'll try to add it later to the is it in the description? I used to put it in the description. I'm going to have to keep doing some more. I'll do some new ones too. It's not in the description. I'll add it. Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network. Moments of the COMICSGATE. Yeah, because the more that you know going into this game, you could refresh it. You could refresh it if you want. There's a link to the playlist in the series. But the more that you know getting into this, you won't make mistakes, you know, that are obvious mistakes anyway. And also, look, don't be afraid to, there are plenty of YouTube channels. I haven't been doing a lot of streams lately. I have done them in the past. I've promoted a lot of COMICSGATE comics. But there are a lot of people that do promotional channels and support each other. I want to do those again soon. It's just, it can be very time consuming. So it's hard to do it. But there are some people that do it on a regular basis. They're doing a fantastic job of it. Look on Twitter. That's how you can really find people. Hashtag COMICSGATE. There are a lot of guys that are just great in helping each other out. And we all do what we can, I know. But my point is, don't be afraid to like get out talking about your project, get an email list going. You have 6 months when you start an email list to when it gets canceled by Indiegogo if you don't launch. So you got 6 months to collect those names. If you have to, you could always start a new sign up page. Curmudgeon asked, Curmudgeon, find me on Twitter too, @ComicsWeLove. I want to see your art because you're old school. Do black and white comics sell a whole lot worse? Well, the answer to that question is usually they do sell less, and sometimes you don't get enough attention for the book. When I started College of the Dead book 1, that one is black and white. And I just felt people really do like the color better. And if you're an artist, particularly if you can do the color, the cost of printing is not higher now anymore, especially with digital printing. It costs the same to print digitally in color as it does black and white. I also have recommendations for some printers, and at least you can get some ideas in some of the video series. I printed with Mixam. Yeah, Michael Bancroft. That's what I was gonna mention. Michael Bancroft has been great. He's been fantastic. Anybody could do what I'm doing. Like anybody can do. You can start a YouTube channel. And you start small, and you invite people on, and you talk about comics, and they talk about comics, and you'll click differently with different people. Walking Dead started out as a black and white comic. The Ninja Turtles started out like a black and white comic. You can be a multimillionaire and publish only black and white comics. But generally speaking, if the Mermaids were black and white, would I be selling as many of them? I don't know. I guess it's a tough question. The answer is probably not, because it's harder to present your work in black and white. You know, it's harder to show, you know, context and contrast, you know, in black and white than it is with color. And people kind of expect color. But some projects belong in black and white. So it depends on the aesthetics. But if you have an idea for some really cool, badass Batman killer type of character, and you're going to do him in black and white instead of color, he's going to look better in color, brother. And you'll do better in color. But your main thing is you can definitely, I'll make sure I keep that in my project descriptions from now on, that link for Secrets of the COMICSGATE Network. I will do new videos like that. And you can just go hashtag COMICSGATE. You'll see there are a lot of cool people with YouTube channels. Don't get Paul wrong. He still belongs. Paul, we will not get you wrong. I like black and white too. I published a lot of black and white comics. How far away? We are $15 away from $3,000. Trevor is going to put in another $2,000 to get us up to 5. No, Trevor, thank you. I appreciate that. Just teasing. $29.85. Guys, this is fantastic. This took me 2 days to get this far with College Day graduation day. The thing that it does is it really makes you feel like, hey, this is freaking, you feel very welcome when you have this level of support. So I appreciate the support. And that's the main thing about the COMICSGATE group is you will be, if you're on the outside of it as a creator, and then you start to get on the inside a little bit by talking to other creators and stuff, like Simon Simpoitier was great to me. Red Gaze was great to me. Ethan has been great to me, Ethan Van Sciver, RT Bear, but like any name you can think of, they've been great to me. Never a problem with any of those guys. And then, for some reason you don't get along with somebody, you just don't wind up spending a lot of time with them. But there's 35, 45 other creators that you will get along with. And remember too, it's a merit-based system. So like, for example, even with Ethan, he's got to be excited about a project to talk about a project. He's very sincere, and that's what makes him so entertaining and interesting to listen to. The same thing with really with everybody. We all kind of make it on our own merit, and that's the way it should be. And the thing too is there's no limit to this. There's no limit to taking care of customers in COMICSGATE. There's no limit to being able to, if you have another cool idea that you're really passionate about, there's no limit to putting out that second idea or that third idea. The limits are you must keep your promises. You must deliver what you're going to promise. You must, if it's a 48-page color book, that damn thing better be 48 pages in full color. It better ship on time as promised. And what I mean by that is you lose people's trust if you don't deliver. But as long as you deliver, you get their trust and then you retain it. And what's so cool is you guys have not only backed and supported this campaign, you've also helped promote it by sharing the campaign to other people for more. So you get your customers are really your best promoters sometimes, where they can tell other people about the book. So, I mean, really, this system of this direct to consumer crowdfunding, COMICSGATE, being able to support other people in the game, nothing like it. If people have questions for me too, by the way, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, is the easiest way to reach me, at Comics We Love on Twitter. And I can answer questions and whatnot. I am going to promote other people's books more. I'm going to have Billy on soon, who's doing Billy Tucci. We just have to figure out a day and time. But I'm going to have other guys on too. And you'll see me on other people's channels, anything I can do to help. There's just a limit, to the number of shows that I can do, obviously, because it's just a certain amount of time in the day and life and stuff. But I love being on other people's channels, and I love being able to promote other people's books. I had Professor Murph on with his War Party book, which is a beautiful book making its way up in COMICSGATE. But who does Michael Bancroft has a great channel. You should sub him to check out CG Books and other guys who are coming up in the community. And Mandy Summers has built a great platform. She's got a great YouTube channel. She's a great promoter of creators. John Malin has been doing COMICSGATE Presents projects for a long time. Those books are good. Cash Grab from Cecil was instantly fulfilled because he took the money and he ran exactly as he promised he would do. Well, the story with that was that Cecil did a book that he called Cash Grab, and he did tell people that he was going to do the book and he would promise to not ship the book, that he would just take the money and grab it. Hence the title Cash Grab. What he did do was, once he got over 250,000, he disappeared. He closed himself off of Twitter. So he closed down his Twitter account. And then he disappeared and tried to take over a small country with, I think they were child soldiers. He showed us pictures of some of those, and it didn't work out. Now, he said it didn't work out because the kids were complaining, But one of the things I haven't talked to him about was he announced that his coup in that small country failed on a Wednesday, but I think he had said he had scheduled to do the coup on a Thursday. And if you're going to do a coup, you cannot get the days wrong. You just can't. You got to do the coup on the right day. And I think that's where Cecil slipped up. But I would assist Cecil with doing a coup myself, because I've always kind of wanted to have my own island, and I don't mind utilizing child soldiers. Trevor says, Adam, you should do more shows with Cecil talking about those old indie books. There's a treasure in those quarter bins. Yeah, me and Cecil did a stream on his channel, and we had other guys on it too. But Cecil was breaking out from his collection, like indie books. He's like showing obscure black and white independent comics from the 1980s. And that was my time. That was when I first started publishing. So I knew about all those books. That was a lot of fun. He had a G.I. Jackrabbits book too, and he was quizzing me on the names of the characters. Look, it's been a lot of characters. It's hard to keep track of all of them, but I did guess them all correctly. And Cecil's a lot of fun. My favorite thing, I have to ask him to do it again, is when you go on a stream with Cecil, and then he has a soundboard where he does horns, and like wah wah. But it's really funny when he does it. He's got a really funny sense of humor. Ethan did a clip from a show that we were all on. We were talking about Phil Collins being accused of stinking, and he clipped it out as its own video. It looks like it's gotten a lot of views. It was a lot of fun. It was a really fun show. Cecil said some really outrageous shit on that. He was loaded. Government coup money only goes so far. Yes. So if you're not going to have a coup, back the mermaids, epicmermaids.com. You didn't get the early bird discount. Yeah, a coup is probably hard to manage. I've never done a coup yet, but I would definitely like to. This is the link to War Party. It's a beautiful looking book. And Professor Mer, it's very reasonably priced too. It was one of these things where he priced it very much on the low enough on the low side that people were concerned that maybe he wouldn't be able to ship it. He will ship it. He's got another whole professional career. He can afford to subsidize it. He just wants to put the book out, and he's excited to do it. It happens sometimes, but also just keep that in mind with pricing. Look at what the standard pricing is on other COMICSGATE books, and just know your numbers first when you publish, and then don't try to get more people to back it by being cheaper on the price, because again, people want to see what they're used to seeing. Otherwise, they'll look at things skeptically, which is not is not ideal. Yeah, Curmudgeon, hit me up with, I want to see your art. Cecil's been killed and replaced by one of the Cecil impersonators he hired. If you pay attention, this new Cecil is taller. I'm not sure if he's taller. He is thinner. That I am skeptical of. But he did lose weight. But he's on sort of a liquid diet, I think. So that'll help him. All right, guys, I'm going to hit the Mermaids trailer one more time. Then let's go through the tiers. That's the only responsible thing to do, let's be honest. And I just want you to see Ted Zagaro. He is really, he's fantastic. He did this trailer, and he did College of the Dead trailer as well. You should show that too, but let's just show this one for now. This one first. Oop. It's not full screen. Ow. And I've worked with people who've done different all sorts of different things before, but I love working with Ted Zagaro. He's exceptionally good. He's very talented. And he's got kind of an odd, like artistic artist edge to him. So he's sort of, he comes at things from a very interesting angle. And he always presents the stuff so well in these trailers. He did the College of the, I'm so excited about, I do have it on this page. I want to show you guys what he did on my College of the Dead graduation day. You guys have probably seen this before. Maybe a few of you haven't seen it yet, but I included it as well on this campaign. I want this to be full screen though. Why is it not letting me make this? Hold on a second. You got to see this full screen. It'll say watch on YouTube. I don't really want to do that. All right, I'll do it. I didn't want to do it that way, but I will do it that way. I just want you guys to be able to see this full screen. You'll see why I love this thing so much. How badass is that? Is Ted Zagaro good or what? Ted Zagaro kicks ass. That campaign is at collegeofthedead.com if you guys want to check that out. It'll redirect right to it. I love that trailer. This would be like if you're interested in this book, these are still in demand, so this can ship immediately. Now, these books are also available, but with like there's a narwhal cover. These books are also available to ship immediately, and some of them are like they are available as a giant set, an expensive set. But if you just want to pick up one of them or something, or two of them, whatever, you can get that through collegeofthedead.com through in demand, and it'll ship immediately. That one also has a cool making of book, and these are the color interior pages. But this was a lot of fun to work on. This was very successful. The first book only did 10,000. This second book did over 33,000. Ethan actually pointed out on a show, and he had, I don't know, there was a chart that was going on Twitter. Apparently, College of the Dead is the most improved COMICSGATE book percentage-wise from book 1 to book 2. It's not the biggest project by any means, but it had a huge improvement. And that's because people like book 1. And really, I think also a lot of thanks to Ted and Farah's coloring. Also, it didn't hurt to have a couple of hottie girls in there, because the College of the Dead book 1 as a football player. But a couple of hottie girls, you can sell a little bit more. You're going to actually get a little bit of extra sales. And that's the other thing is if there's a way to add kind of a sexy element to your project, it does help on the sales a little bit. I will admit that. No question about it. This is amazing. We actually broke 3,000 on the first day for this campaign. In the first couple of hours, you guys are unbelievable. I appreciate the support. That trailer makes you hungry. I hope it makes you hungry for body parts, Apex Comics. It makes me hungry for chicken. Refresh Mermaids, done deal, Eric. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your help. Curmudgeon. Ted Zagaro, man, I'm telling you, the guy's got effing chops. He's really, really good. So I kind of go to him first with anything that's trailer-wise. There's another guy, Access or Ascension Media, who's been doing some really nice stuff in COMICSGATE too. But Ted's been kind of my go-to guy. Hey, thank you, Lord Crackhead 33, as opposed to Lord Crackhead 32. I appreciate the compliment, and I appreciate the well wishes, and I'm really happy people like this project. I really like it. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know, if everybody's going to like, mermaids, and some people don't like zombies at all. So, they didn't back zombies, but you do what you're passionate about. You do your project, but also don't launch it if you can't get 100 people to sign up for an email list at the very least. And again, a rough estimate would be 100 names should be about $10,000 in sales, very roughly. But still, it just gives you some sort of guide. And if you don't have 100 names signed up, you're probably not going to have a successful campaign. So on this campaign, we did the featured tier was the 2 covers plus the making of book. That is, the making of book's going to be a great book. And we do have add-ons now that are free shipping for any kind of mix and match that anybody wants to do. So whatever mix and match combo you want, as long as it's mermaids, we got it on this. The mermaid's daggers cover. We've got the mermaid swimming cover. The mermaid with the sigh. You have to have a mermaid with sigh. Why? Electra, that's why. Obviously. Jana and Idris. The coloring is so fantastic on that cover. And then we made it so if you want to get the 2 Jerry covers, you can get those, the Muka style. Or if you want to get just the 2 Javier covers. Jerry is outselling Javier right now. That's life, man. That's how it goes. And then there's the complete set. I'm really glad people are getting the complete sets. That's very cool. I was thinking of making a box for the complete set, but that would have set me back another 6 months. I'm really not set up to do that just yet. So it's exciting. I really appreciate the support. You guys are fantastic. This has been, this is definitely what I would consider a successful campaign right now. I'm very happy to be doing it. I'm going to be starting to do the numbers on when I can start Mermaids 2 at this point. Because this has been really, really a great reception. I really appreciate it. What are you seeing about StreamYard? There's Charlie's London. Hey, Charlie's.
Hey, you all right?
Good to see you. How was your Chinese?
Not great, to be honest, but it's fine. I hate it when you get a takeaway and it's like not good. So, but I'm all right.
Is it your usual place?
No, our usual place was when we phoned them up, it was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be like an hour and a half to 2 hours. I was like, can't wait for 2 hours for my food. It's because we're back in lockdown here. So like the takeouts are so like everything's crazy. So yeah, I should have just gone with my gut instincts and cooked dinner. But there you go. As is life.
How our gut instinct is always right.
Yeah.
Isn't it true? Like some of our brains are actually in our guts. Who would know about stuff like that? I don't know. There's always there's always like somebody that knows all the details about all that stuff.
I feel like when you said that, the first person that came in my head that would know that would be like Kelsey. I don't know why, but I think Kelsey would know.
All right.
I don't know why. It's just that when you said who do we know that, I was like, Kelsey. Kelsey would know that.
This is true. Apex Comics. You're building your campaigns gradually. That's great. Yeah, with me, like I like to go incrementally. I like to be in control of what the heck is going on. So this campaign is doing very well. I'm very happy.
Yeah, 100%. I think as well the thing with this is that you said it earlier that when I was watching, you said that we're all here to sort of help each other and we all learn from each other. And I had issues with my add-ons when I launched as well. It was at one point I thought Indiegogo were going to actually suspend my campaign because I ended up in 5 minutes getting what worked out to be over $1,000 of refunds because I had to I put my add-ons on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Peter Sametti helped me sort it because I thought I'd done them and it turned out that it wasn't done. And he sort of talked me through in a DM how to sort it, and I sorted it. And then I put a tweet out about it. And of course, what people then started doing was they were refunding like the individual covers and they were buying the cover with like the the Charlie and Stan one shot, and because of that, it bounded around loads of refunds. And I was like, oh my god, like please don't let Indiegogo think there's something dodgy going on with this, because there'd be nothing worse than your opening weekend and you have your account frozen because they're not sure if it's, you know, something dodgy's going on.
Yeah, you don't want that happening. Yeah, I did my add-ons wrong, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to email everyone, and just anyone that wanted to do an add-on, just give them a secret perk with free shipping.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, I've got a couple of things that I'm going to be adding on in sort of the last 14 days of the campaign, and I'm going to be anyone that's already backed at this particular tier, I'm going to be sending them out a secret perk as well.
Yeah, I really like it. I kind of got into comics. When I got into comics in a bigger way, it was with biography comics myself. I think it's very cool that this is your project, Charlie's London. I think we have it in the a link in the chat. Hopefully, Eric is there, so we probably will.
Yeah, Eric, thank you. Eric always does that.
Charlie's London, from East Lane to the Limelight. So let's talk about your project a little bit while we got you.
Are you sure? Because this is your night. I've come on to support you.
All right. Well, you are supporting me.
Okay.
Well, suffice it to say, this is your first book. It's going fantastic, and it's fantastic to have people like you in COMICSGATE. You know, a heart is a big part of what we do. People have to be passionate about it. They have to care about the book. They have to be able to talk about what they're working on. So that is another thing too, is when you guys for the chat, like when you're watching streams and you see people are really passionate about their work and they're really knowledgeable about it, they're interested in their characters and interested in what they're doing, that really is a big part of being successful with these campaigns.
Yeah, no, you are right. I mean, and the thing is as well is I've got a couple of people outside of CG who have been emailing me backwards and forwards about actually buying the book for like a retailer tier. So that's probably going to go up. I'm going to have to put that up in sort of the next week or so, or it might just be something that they'll do an order away from the campaign.
Yeah, they can go outside the campaign for that.
But the great thing about these books, and I know you must feel the same, and I was talking to Jan about this today, when you have this book, when you have your books, they're yours. Whatever happens, they will always be yours. And I think that is something that is so important as well, is that you can, these projects are projects that are yours. I mean, I know that I don't own this IP, but I know for a fact that I'll forever own this book with this IP. And I'm now, what for me was really special is I'm now part of that back catalogue of books that are about Chaplin. So there is a Charlie Chaplin archive. It's in Bologna in Italy. This book will go in there because every book published about him goes in there, whether it's a comic book, they've got children's books in there, they've got all sorts of things.
The official archive now.
So to me, that's the tip, like that's the cherry on the cake, if you like. And you know, and it goes, the same goes with your books. Your, you know, College of the Dead is now part of a zombie genre back catalogue. There will be, you know, websites.
Yeah, and there have been a couple of like zombie, you know, world type of things that have reached out, and they help promote College of the Dead a little bit. And you kind of know that by the time you do the next one, there'll be interest there, and there'll be more opportunities to kind of spread it out wider and further. So yeah, it's a very cool thing to put your name in print on a physical book, and just know that like after you're gone, that book is going to be there in the world someplace.
Yeah,
it is the immortality. It's true. You wind up becoming immortal in a small way. So I remember feeling like that when I did GI Jackrabbits when I was 16. It gives you this weird, you'll see it when you see your name in print. It's sort of like, oh, that's weird. There's proof that I exist, like outside of me being alive as a person. It's an interesting dynamic.
It is, and it's like the other day when the Chaplins put my book in their mailing list. I was like, they send an email around every month of different things that are going on, and they put it out when I launched. They put one out when my mailing list launched, and when they saw how much the book had made, they put out another one. And it's just so strange to see it coming from like their official, their official email and that. I mean, I've done stuff with them in the past before. I've got my name in print with lectures and things that I've done, but nothing to this. I mean, the great thing about being a comic book creator is that comic books, what people don't get their head around is the outside of comics thinks that comics are very small. But that's only because they have a very small way of looking at them. Because actually, you can do a comic book about anything, and you can actually make a comic book about anything, and they can be incredibly amazing things. I mean, I know one of the English teachers in my school. She's got manga, Shakespeare graphic novels, and she lets the children look at them who really struggle understanding Shakespeare. So she lets them use them for like a pictorial reference. Well, that's fantastic. That's another great way of using a comic book.
Yeah, it's a great teaching tool. It's great for communication, and it also keeps us away from censorship, because it's not like someone has to look over our shoulder and say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. In television or film, any other medium, they're really subject to, it's a big enough production that there's a lot of money involved. There are a lot of other people involved. Their distribution gets held up. And then it becomes a case where it's like other people have to approve it. Well, in your case, of course, you're going to respect the estate, but you still can do what you want to do with it. In my case, I can do whatever the heck I want to do as long as the customers are happy with it and they want to buy another one. So yeah, it's a great medium. And that's what I was saying earlier was, it's on us. We can complain about what the big companies are doing with comics, but it's really on us to leave comics better than we found them. It's not, we're creators. So we've got to make them good, and we've got to make sure there are opportunities for other people to make good comics. And we got to keep these things out. We got to put them out. And if they want to make bad comics, let them make bad comics. They'll lose out. But it's not about the company. It's about the people. Back in the day, there were people that cared about good storytelling, good characterization, taking care of customers. And those are the people that went to work at or started companies. And it was always the people. It's not Marvel, the entity, the business entity. It's the people working at the company. Well, we're those people now. We're the next generation of those people. So it's about what we are doing in our generation. And the companies are not, monolithic, whatever. Like DC Comics is publishing less and less comics, to the point, maybe, as Ethan was saying, maybe they don't even publish paper comics by June of 2021 anymore. So it's up to us to decide like what kind of comics we want to make. Oh, it's the Replicator.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you, Rob. Rob is a lot of fun.
I like
Rob. Yeah, he's been great.
You are right, though. You are right. You're 100% right. And it's like, I mean, this book here, your Mermaids book, is proof that you can take a established sort of idea, mythology, if you like, and you can do something different with it. And this is the problem with the big two, is that they've taken that idea, but they've run with it in the completely wrong way. There is so much more life left in their original characters without them having to do the things that they've been doing. And all of these big franchises from Marvel and DC right down to like what Disney have been doing and Star Wars and stuff, you actually don't need to destroy these things. It doesn't, just because we live in an age where you could do all these different things for whatever reason, it doesn't mean that you actually have to. I mean, we have a saying over here, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Well, none of this stuff was broken, but they've broken it to the point where we're not even sure we can fix it, or if we even want to anymore.
Yeah, we don't. They could, they can ruin their property if they want to. That's their business. They paid for it, and that's fine. But it's the stories that are behind the characters. It's not even the characters that matter. I want to do stories about self-sacrifice, for a greater good. I want to do stories about responsibility, like what's behind Spider-Man. And I am actively thinking about this of what else I want to do, because I think it's possible now for us to do want to send Rob a link if he wants to jump in. It's up to him. If you like Rob, but yeah, and what kind of stories do we want to tell? What do we want them to be about? And what if we want people to get out of the story? And sometimes it's you do want to just make it entertaining. That's absolutely true, but the purpose of the story is to have a purpose. That's where stories came from. It's how people passed along knowledge. The elder of the tribe telling the rest of the people in the tribe, and keeping their attention and trying to let also people know what was important about what your role is in the rest of your human community. Stories are incredibly freaking important. Stories are not insignificant. No. And it's not just in service of visuals. And visuals are incredibly important. So when you marry the visuals with a good story, and then the combination of good storytelling, like how the story is told, the layout, the design, there's a lot of potential to really reach people in a deep way. And that's why we care about Spider-Man. It's not because of his costume. It's because of who he was as a character, and him learning responsibility the hard way, as a teenager, which we all go through as, in teenage years. But it really resonates with the audience because of what the story is about. Yeah. So we want to have those legends continue. We want to have those doesn't have to be Spider-Man, but we want to have a character. We want to have iconic characters and meaningful stories. And, we want that kind of stuff. We want good work that means something. And look, there are other people that want it. The people that support these campaigns, they obviously want it too.
Yeah,
so
you're totally right.
We'll be making it. We'll be making it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that I'd do like my book. That'd be the one story in me that I wanted to do, and whatever. But I do have other ideas. And I don't doubt for 1 minute they won't be as successful as this book, because this book's obviously got legs behind it without what I've done.
Once people see you deliver, it opens up a whole new world. Certainly does. Rob Arnold says, get some scroll on there, Postman. Show off my stuff. All right, I'll strut around a little bit. But by the word of Rob Arnold, this is a great character. I really like this project. This is the project that got me back into comics. I had been out of comics for a few years. And between this and encouragement from my friend Jim, who's a comics guy, kind of drew me back in. Jim kept encouraging me. He's like, it's a good idea. You should do that. And I'm like, all right, fine, we'll do it. And he referred the artist agent to me, I think, and started working with the artists. And the game was on.
You could do a crossover with this and College of the Dead, like they eventually come out the water and see what the world has turned into.
Someone else was asking if there was going to be a crossover. But that's part of the story you just described. There you go.
There you go. Like that, they come, they've got this big, they got this big sort of thing about, the landed world is much, they can't be having all the problems up there that we're having down here, because obviously, like you say, it's like Game of Thrones and Mermaids. There's going to be like intrigue and war, and there's going to be all these things going on. But then when they actually go to the surface, they realize, oh my God, look at what the state of the world's like. And then they realize that, maybe we should actually sort our problems out down here, because down here it's not bad.
We got problems, but we don't got these sorts of problems.
Yeah, we ain't got flesh eating.
Yeah, unless one of them does become a zombie. They'd be like, what's going on up there? There's always a way to do it. But look at this. Look how much character development there is here. This was going to be for a trading card series. I had Stefan. Stefan Petrucca is like a favorite writer of yours.
Yeah, because he wrote all the X-Files comics back in the day.
And who did he work with? Charlie Adlard, the artist on Walking Dead.
Who's two of my favorite things.
So who would have been better to hire as a writer to help me on College of the Dead? Stefan Petrucca. Well, Stefan wrote all of this on the Mermaids. He co-wrote the Mermaids, and he did all this character development for me. So this is one character, Jonna. She's the main character, but we did 36 of these, just describing all these characters and how they interact with each other. These were really going to be, I was thinking of doing trading cards with these, and that was kind of originally the idea, but then it just became too big of a project. So I'm going to utilize it in the making of book, so people get to see all this additional background. But there's a tremendous amount of story. But Stefan will not disappoint you on this. I can promise you that. And he has already completed the script for College of the Dead 3 College of the Dead Spring Break. And it's fantastic. I love the script. I love it. Originally, I had him make a couple of changes to it because the language is a little strong, a couple of F words and stuff. But then I saw some of the other things he was doing in the script. I'm like, no. Change back everything you wanted. Forget it. No more dialogue editing from me. Because it was so right for the character. So it's just such excellent writing.
You've got to have on the front cover for that. You've got to have like a human snapping a zombie in half or something like that, because that'll work really well with the lettering of Spring Break. You know, like the snap of something like that would work really well. Yes, that's. I think, you know what? I think that's one of the first things you and I ever spoke about was Stefan Petrushka's work, and that's how you and me got talking on Twitter, and then I added you, and then the rest is history. But that is funny, isn't it? That he's worked on that, and he's also worked with Charlie Adlard, and the X-Files comics and the Walking Dead comics before I got into CG were like two of my favorite sort of comic books to read and buy. It's crazy how things go full circle.
GI zombies. Mixing in the GI Jackrabbit angle. Yeah, there's so much you can do. I like the idea of, look, if people like it, fantastic. If they like it a lot, then you do a sequel. You know, I think that because if people like it, it's because they're investing themselves in it. You know, they're interested in it. They can relate to it. So if you're going to ask people to invest themselves in your work and it's successful, there's almost like you have an obligation to do more of it. That's how I see it. It's like if people like it and they have put time into it, they're interested in it, they put money into it, you should do another one. So the artist for the Mermaids who did the interiors is ready to go on a Mermaids 2. And Stefan would be happy, I'm sure, to write Mermaids 2. We've talked very, very little about it, but he would be ready to go. So we'll see how the success is of the Mermaids, but so far the success has been pretty good. I really appreciate the support. I'm going to see how it goes over the next couple of days, but I'm going to just try to keep myself under control, because with me, I like sequels a lot. I'm very big on sequels. I think it's very appropriate. You know, when I bought comics, you didn't just get like one issue and that was it. It was every month they made comics. Yeah. So I'm not doing any monthlies, but we can do a new Mermaids every 6 months if people like it. Why not? You should.
Well, yeah, because you keep your audience interested then, don't you? That's the big thing. That's the most
and it's a lot of crossover with College of the Dead, with zombies or whatever, but it's not the same.
I think it's really good that you've actually got two very different books, you know, because it can be really easy to become like a one-trick pony and just have one particular thing. I mean, I think after I finish Charlie's London, I think people will probably be quite surprised at the other ideas and things that I have, because they're nothing like it. I'm hopefully going to be working with the same artist, but even if I don't, and he just wants to stick with these books because they're his style, I'm sure there's plenty of CG artists out there that would happily do whatever my projects are, because I get on with so many people, and I'm very supportive of so many projects and so many people. So my doors are always open to anyone.
Yeah. And there are so many great people, and you have so many really good relationships, and there's every reason to do more. And I have things in the works for other comics projects, so hopefully I can get a lot done in 2021. But if the reception is going to be good like this, I mean, I'm really, really happy with these results. COMICSGATE is the best. Can't go wrong with COMICSGATE. And what's neat is, you know, ship this book. If I keep my promises on this book, which I will, it puts me in a great position for the one after it. And that's how it keeps going. You just continue to build. people who know you're good for what you say you're going to do.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, building up a reputation is so important. You know, making sure that people know you, making sure that people know you're sincere. It's so important. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I held off for so long with doing mine, because I wanted people to get to know me. I wanted people to know that I was consistent, that I wasn't just in it for a quick buck, you know. And I think that's what's so important. Getting to know people, just little things like you see someone's screen name or avatar come up.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Being able to talk to them and say, I know you, you know X, Y, and Z. How are you doing? You know, all these little things. And I think that's so important. It's so important because people remember that.
And it's fun. It's really like, it's fun. You know, it's great to have people who are really like supporters and interested in the work and commenting on the comics when they get them. There's nothing better than when people, you're going to see it. It feels so fantastic when people have pictures of their book, of the book that you sent them.
Yeah.
Hey, I just got this book, and they show it on Twitter. It's like, it's such a great feeling. This is going to be one I'm especially happy about doing that with. Just getting the books and seeing the books. Well, this is an incredible start to this campaign. I really appreciate you guys supporting it. I may stream again a little bit later. I think it's a good idea for me to take a little bit of a break. I didn't really, I didn't even know I'd be going. This campaign is so successful. Probably should stay until the campaign does more. I would love to stay. I don't know if people can hear that my voice is getting a little.
There's always going to be a streamer you'll be able to turn up on, and you know,
yeah, I have such a good time.
I'm back at work next week, but you know,
okay.
My stream is your stream. You want to come on it in the evening? We'll work out a time because obviously, and whatever. But you know,
I love the UK gang.
Yeah, listen, you've been one of the most consistent, supportive people of not only me but CG UK and the guys over here. And you know, when you were streaming with this, the opportunity I could come on and support you, it means a lot for me to be able to do that.
Yeah, I really appreciate you doing that. I know we all have a lot of things to do, but it's great to have friends coming on. My friend Kirk was on earlier. I don't know if you got to hear him, but he's fantastic. He hasn't he does comics, but he hasn't have any CG campaigns or any current crowdfunding campaigns yet at the moment. But yeah, I'll come back again. We'll do more again. We'll have a lot of fun. Guys, I'm going to get a little bit of a break, and then I'll come back 12 hours or bust. Rob. Rob is great. Rob,
yeah.
You know what? One of the best things about Rob is him bringing Clayton into the game. Clayton Barton.
Yeah.
Clayton is fantastic. The How to Draw Comics channel. Guys, subscribe to the How to Draw Comics channel too. All right, I'm going to get a little rest. Charlie, thanks again for joining me. Thank you so much, Eric, for helping out. Green Apple, thank you. Great to see you, Rob. And we'll be back again soon, as Ethan likes to say. No, I won't do Ethan's sign off. I'll do my own. I'll see you again soon, or I will miss you. Something like that. I can't even think of it. I'm too tired. All right, much love, guys. Thanks again for the support. Have a great